Dark Satellite Media.
Hello.
Hey.
Let me shut this off. Okay. There you
Is
go.
that going to go the whole show?
Yes.
Right.
So, welcome to Red River Podcast, episode number 48. We're inching towards episode 50, which
It's going to be an extravaganza.
if you know anything about this show, it's going to be probably just the same as 49 and 48.
We're going to have a parade of past guests, giveaways.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do something. We might even have our guest back, for that episode, because what better person to have on? So today we're gonna talk.
We should just tape it tonight then.
Yeah.
While he's here.
I'll gangbang that shit. We'll do 2, 1, 2. Let's fucking do it.
We'll skip 49 then, because this is 48. So
Like a lost episode.
yeah,
double the money.
Easter egg. Be an Easter
it
egg.
will be the lost episode. That's not a bad idea. I like that, because everyone it'll be like the movie Thanksgiving, because it went from 1 to 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 3 is the search for part 2.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty funny. But anyway, so today we welcome back a former past guest, Bryan Maher.
Returning fucking champion. And, thank you guys for graciously inviting me back.
No doubt.
Jesus. Well, thank you so graciously for asking a bunch of times.
Like, yeah, I can do that shit.
Today, I mean, it's kind of like a big deal, but not really. But it's a big deal just for the show.
Mhm.
It's the end of a decade, which
Which I totally didn't realize till we first kicked this around.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
yeah. And then for people like me and you, like, we panic because we're like, oh my God, now I got to I can't, now it's not only best of 2019, now I got to think of 10 years. And like, we sat there.
I want to apologize to my boss right now for how little I did
Same.
and
Same.
paid too much attention.
I
to this.
actually stole a company notebook too. I was just like, let's just fucking kick it off right. I'll fucking rob the place, then I just won't even get anything. Fucking
I
work
took the
done.
long way home a lot in the car.
Yeah.
Listened to it and I went to sleep, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we revisited. But anyway, so we're going to do, we're going to start off with the best of 2019. We're going to talk best rock albums, best hip hop albums, and best movies of the year, and anything else. Like if you want to add in like live shows, TV shows, because if there's one thing that I noticed about this year is that I didn't watch the normal amount of movies because TV is like such a big deal now.
I did the exact opposite, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. I have no idea. Okay.
I definitely watch more TV.
Yeah.
Definitely more TV this year.
You know, and
There is great shit, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you could really break down a movie. It's not like I need to watch The Irishman in one shot, but I did.
I think it's my fear of commitment. I got to commit to the show now, whereas I could just watch a movie for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Wow, that's some deep shit right there. Wow. Exclusive. You hear here.
Yeah.
So, anything new you want to talk about? Like, fucking, I know you guys finished up a record. You guys writing a new record with Black Suit Youth?
Yeah, we're actually going back to Atlanta to record in February. We actually started doing some of the drums. We're recording a ton of songs, but I think the album as a format is kind of
I agree.
resting in peace right
I'm
now.
going with you.
So we're actually going to be like staggering the release. I know for a fact we're going to drop a 7-song EP on 7/7, and get our numerology kicking with that. And I think we're going to do Bridgeside Live that night because it's a Tuesday.
You going back?
Yeah. So that'll be live, and then we'll definitely do some shows to celebrate it that week. Like, I don't know where yet, but we have to actually finish recording first before I can even get into all that.
What makes you, just like me, what makes you just keep writing songs?
They just keep popping into my head, and it's I just want to keep doing it. I love playing, and I love. These days, I'm more into just being in the studio and recording and writing than I am playing live because as I'm getting older, it's getting to be harder work. I don't feel like carrying amps as much and shit, But
wait, there's no backline? I'm not playing.
Yeah, well, even I still have a pretty heavy head though, So. But yeah, I mean, it's in you. You can't stop. I got these guitars sitting around, and I just got to pick them up and play them. And sometimes, once every 45 times, something decent comes out.
Yeah. Oh, same. I know. And you got a new drummer?
Yeah, yet again. Really cool guy, studio dude. This guy Lee. He plays in a lot of different groups. He's worked with like Evan Seinfeld and I think maybe Ministry or one of the guys. So I forgot what he did specifically, but he's got good credentials. He's a solid player.
Has he ever met Little Loopy?
I don't know. He probably. The guy knows a lot of people. I don't even know what that means, so I don't know.
That's Evan's girlfriend.
Oh, all right.
She's definitely into she was into, porn. So,
okay.
But
I thought he was in a band with him, or he worked in the porn industry.
Yeah.
He worked. He was the drummer.
How big's his dick?
I haven't shared a urinal with him yet, but I'll see if I can squeeze in on him next time and get a good head count of it.
He was married to Tara Patrick, too, right?
Yeah. That era, he played with him.
Maybe we can get this guy's dick for
Shout out.
episode 50. He'll be the special guest.
Did you ever play drums with his dick?
I don't know. He might be whacking a hog. We'll see.
He hates us right now. I'm sorry.
If he's even listening, I don't. Well, he can't hear us right now. He's going to hear this 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to tell him about it.
Yeah. I'm Hispanic, so you could say a lot of those jokes too if you want while you're listening. You call me spick all you want. But
he's a gentleman. He would never resort to such type of language.
But yeah, it's awesome to always find someone to play with because the older you get, the harder it is, and you don't want to lose people. You have Juan, you have Fed. Yeah,
they're solid guys, and I'm glad to have them. And they're dedicated. They're willing to get in the van and go down the coast and play and leave the general area, which is awesome. You know. And they like to party and hang out, but they don't take it to the extreme level where they can't play anymore and have to be removed, which is always good.
Like it's all right to just snort a gram, but an 8-ball is ridiculous.
Yeah, because you'll play too fast, and if you're gonna do it after you've already played. Like, have a little fun, have a drink or two to take the edge off is cool, but mainlining mini bar bottles of fucking Jack Daniels and then stumbling onto the stage and not remembering what fucking city you're in doesn't pay, especially when we're barely getting by and barely selling T-shirts. You suck on stage, you're not gonna do good.
No, you're not. Yeah, for sure.
And you came all that way. You prepared. You worked for it. Why fucking blow it at the last second?
Yeah,
there's a lot of saboteurs out there. It's crazy.
And you guys have been playing a lot. And the one thing that I love and admire about that is it really ups your live show. You guys record. It seems like all the live sets. You guys take it super serious, unlike us.
Well, we do it like the Jets coach. We'll listen to it and then watch the video again and be like, you missed a drum fill there. I mean, obviously, we're not like that. We are that crazy about it, actually. I mean, I shouldn't even defend it. We are definitely nitpicky and crazy, but it's not a big deal if you screw up or whatever. Just it can't become a pattern thing where you always make the same mistake each week. That's what I'm always looking out for. Everyone's gonna fuck up left and right because I find myself in my own head a lot. I'm trying to rock out and I'm singing and I'm playing guitar, and I'm thinking, oh man, I need a couple more sips of water, but I don't have time. And shit, everyone's going to the bathroom. I got to get them back, or whatever's happening. I feel like I'm not in the moment as much. I do transcend, sometimes, but I'm working on just trying to be more present and not have 17 different voices going at all times.
We played Friday, and Dave fucked up the first song right out of the gate. And I figured, all right, he fucked up the chorus. I'm like, maybe by the second chorus, he'll get it right. Then we play the chorus again, still the wrong note. I'm thinking, this guy fucking stupid? How many times have we played these fucking songs? And I'm singing and playing him, there's the last chorus. I'm like, all right, maybe he'll get this one. And he didn't.
Wow. Fucking bench that guy, man.
Yeah.
Second string coming in.
I just wanted to shit on Dave because he's fucking terrible as a bass player. But That's my fault for encouraging his behavior.
Okay.
Okay.
We haven't caught up with you.
Oh,
in a
that's right.
while.
Yeah.
What's going on? 9 to 6.
You're in a band, right?
Yeah, once in a while. We played 3 shows this year, so we're getting a little tired. 3 shows. Space them out a little bit. But we played Beery's 2 weeks ago with Joe Hess. That was always a good time. Too Many Voices. Played. Also, shout out to Jeff Kaplan, past guest. Hopefully that leg is getting better. Leg, right?
Yeah, he broke a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I just had my first broken bone ever last year. It was it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, which was funny because he posted about it like 2 days after, and I'm like, but I just saw you 2 days ago at the show. He's like, yeah, I was in much better shape back then. So. But Beery's was fun. It was my first time playing there. I've been there for a bunch of shows, and I got there about 2 hours early to set up my drums because I thought I was playing the Coliseum or something. And all the local drunkards, had nothing but, this Neil Peart joke, and the stage is that way, and why are you backwards, and why is the cymbal so high, and this and that. But then I'm watching Joe Hess's band, and his drummer, Justin, has,
my former drummer.
Brian's former drummer, half the
Cheating
size.
bitch.
Yeah, half the size of my drum set. And I'm like, oh, it looks like he's got plenty of room up there. And then I get my shit up there, and I was just like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this. The stage is fucking tiny.
You're playing like Tommy Aldridge.
Yeah.
So you get
pretty
like
much.
30 toms.
I got my rototoms and my gongs on fire. So, and we're getting ready to start playing. And like I had seen like a couple dudes were there, like people that I didn't know with like metal shirts and hardcore shirts. And my bass player like leans over to me. And he goes, we call him Wild Card because he's like the youngest in the band, but he goes ape shit. And he goes, do people like go off in this place? Like, do people mosh? And I was like, not that I've seen.
It does happen.
Yeah. And we actually started playing, and these 5 random guys just fucking started going off or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is kind of cool or whatever. And this like wacko that's watching me the whole time. This guy's in like a fucking like Johnny Trenchcoat over here. And pulls me aside after we finished playing, and he was just like, you guys were fucking sick, and he was calling me Sticks the whole night,
Sticks it in you?
Yeah, pretty much. And I was just like, all right, dude, like, and he's like, he's telling me he's from South Florida, and then he yelled at me because I didn't listen to the new Tool album. But,
you should yell at him for listening to it. It's fucking horrendous. I can deconstruct that whole thing. It's so bad.
But no, it was fun. It was fun. So I mean, we did, or I should say, I did start the second EP, and my drums were recorded in August, and now we're slowly getting to the next year. So I don't know, you would have to talk to my bass player about to get off his lazy ass. And I don't know, it's something about bass players, I think.
It's like they only have 4 strings and they only use 2 of them.
And he's the most talented one in the band, so I don't know what the hell this kid's problem is. This kid's played Irving Plaza. This kid has gone on like, European tours and shit like that.
That's probably his problem. He's not
Maybe. He might have an ego. So,
you guys should hook up with American Slobs. You know them?
I know the name.
Out of Long Beach, dude. Their audience is hardcore as shit, and they fucking go for it. Like
they do.
They're a little faster than you guys, but it's along the same lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's of the same ilk.
Yeah, I'll fucking play with whoever, dude. I don't give a shit.
That's it. Until
you should
Sarah gives birth.
Yeah, dude, slide into their DMs, man.
Yeah, I like it, man.
So, okay, cool. So that brings us to what we normally do. We like to celebrate and look back at like our favorite things of 2019. So we're going to do that, get that out of the way. And then from there, we're going to come back and we're going to pick some of our favorites from the last 10 years, which is super overwhelming, but we're going to try it out.
A lot of stuff.
It's depressing, dude.
Before we get into this top 5, you said you wanted to talk about live shows, or
I got live shows, I got TV shows from this year. What do you want to do?
Let's kick it off with the albums real quick.
Okay,
let's do top 5 rock albums.
Okay, of this year
of 2019. Right. Let's start off with Langan.
Sorry for the rustling of papers.
That's all right. I'll take it out in the mix.
My number 5. I know how you feel about it, but Tool. I was always a big Tool fan. It hardly reinvented the wheel. It was pretty much.
Was he the guy at Beery he's talking to?
It might have been.
Were you?
Were you in that black fucking trench coat?
I remember being there.
South Florida?
So I loved hearing them again. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I wasn't expecting fucking them to do anything different, really. and they didn't. But I loved
They
hearing
really didn't.
hearing the sound again was pleasing to me. You know what I mean?
I think what
I'm not a Perfect Circle fan. I know we disagree
Huge.
on that.
Yeah.
I'm like
I love
different, and I love Danny Carey. I like the way he sounds on it.
Sick drummer.
I like how the drums sound.
Yeah.
you like 25 minutes for the first 2 songs.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Well, here's my thing with it. It's a 6-song record with 6 like 10-minute songs. Are they like trying to get like podcast level like money residuals for each one? Like, is there like some reason they engineered it that way? The first song is like 3 of their other old songs put together. It sounds like H and The Grudge. And I don't know, like, it just sounded so phoned into me. Like, it just seemed like the music is there, and Maynard's like, I'm busy making apple cider. Here's some words, yada, yada. Like, I don't know. I just felt like, and I was a big Tool fan. I've seen them multiple times, many tours. I didn't love the 10,000 Days very much either. It was all right. But I thought this
me
was
neither.
like a fall off a cliff. Like, the last song, which kind of reminded me of Undertow, was like the most where I'm like, all right, this is actually, they're doing some stuff. But then it kind of just repeated and went off into nothing. I don't know.
It was definitely like just reading people's opinions on it. People loved it or hated it. There's no middle ground, you know. So
I mean, it's just a fan, and obviously you were a fan, and only a real fan could say they love it or hate it. It's not
so
like,
sometimes too, man. Like in going through like so many albums this year and stuff and listening to it, sometimes just something just scratches an itch for you. You know what I mean?
And
Like it just hits you right. Whereas like even going back on some of these other things, like songs I did like then, I listened back and I didn't like them later.
yeah.
It's just where you're at when you're listening to it. You know what I mean?
And that's it. If it scratched the itch, then that's
Exactly.
it. You know, it's not our fault you have shitty ears. But number 5 for you, Brian?
Bad Religion, Age of Unreason.
Okay, great.
Still crushing it. Still sounding good.
Yeah.
Even though Greg Graffin looks like Larry David now, he's still getting up there and destroying it.
I was pretty surprised by how good that record was. You know what you're gonna get. I mean, there were some left turns in there, but great record. When they came back and they played that. The fact that they're playing with an Alkaline Trio in Jersey, which I hate driving.
Yeah,
to
no,
Jersey,
there is a day between they're doing Buffalo, Jersey, then somewhere else where like there's not. They have a day off, and maybe a New York show's gonna get booked. So
yeah,
I would hold off before going to Asbury Park. You know,
for sure. That's a show I would love to see. So Parker, number 5.
Number 5, I did kind of like a little all-star band. It's guys from Converge, Red Chord, and Hatebreed, and they're actually in this band called Wear Your Wounds. And Jake Bannon, the guy that sings for Converge, he actually plays bass in this. So if you like his voice or you hate his voice,
That's a good record.
Very good. Yeah, it's very. I don't want to use the term emotion, but it's very emotional. It's very like airy. There's a lot of room in the songs. I don't know if this is their first album or what, but it's called Gates of Heaven, and
I think so.
Yeah, it's for fans of Spotlights. Shout out to Chris Enriquez.
Yeah.
Old Man Gloom, and you could definitely hear Cave-In in there as well.
Cool. My number 5, which says nothing like what you just mentioned, but it's the Lizzo album, Because I Love You. I remember hearing the first song on that record, which is called Because I Love You. And I was like immediately taken by the production, the songwriting, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I'm like, this is actually really good. And then I heard the single Truth Hurts, which is like the catchiest song like I heard all fucking year.
it's got so much attitude.
It's and lyrically, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not like cerebral.
It's the
but
only good song on Z100.
Is Z100 really still a thing?
They are playing. Yeah, they're playing Lizzo.
I didn't know that was. I am sure they are.
Z100 Morning Zoo.
It's like Ed Sheeran, 9 songs that all sound exactly the same, like Ariana Grande, Camila Cabello, whoever, which one they are.
Camila
and then
Cabello?
they drop Lizzo into that, and you're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So they're doing the same thing they've always.
Are you listening to it at
same
work
formula.
or something?
I like to mix shit up. I like to see what's going on in the pop world. I like to make sure the same 4-chord progression lives on forever in every different song that's
Yeah.
the same song. No, look, I can't listen to like rock and podcasts all day. I got to put on Hot 97 or Z100 or something.
Yeah.
1010 Wins just to fucking find out,
I just
who
didn't
got
even.
stabbed,
Yeah, that's
you know?
that's funny. But yeah, so the Lizzo record is amazing, front to back. It reminded me, or it took me by surprise, like let's say the Lord album did in 2013, where I was like, whoa, this is a pop record that's super smart, very well written, and I could really listen to it. And just lyrically, I'm like, these are super relatable fucking lyrics. So. Number 4, Langan?
Possessed, Revelations of Oblivion.
Still didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Possessed fan. They only made 2 albums and an EP, and then broke up, the story. And Larry Lalonde went on to Primus, and Jeff Becerra got shot. He's in a wheelchair and been out of the business for a long time. I don't even know how many years they were out, and came back. It's normally sometimes it's the singer and the other 3 guys are not the original members, but Jeff Becerra's voice is one of my favorite in extreme metal history. I mean, everybody knows Death a little bit more, but Possessed is as important to extreme metal. Their first album, Seven Church, is brilliant. But anyway, after a lot of time away, guy sounds exactly like it sounds like the record came out right after they stopped. And
has a production.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good songs. If you like Possessed, you're going to love this. And I was surprised it got left off a lot of metal sites wrap up because they deserve some love. And shit's fucking kills.
Cool. Brian, number 4. Well, I'll just say Maher.
Along your lines, kind of like, because you were just talking about Lord, Billie Eilish's record, and when we go to sleep where we go, whatever the fuck it is called, like it's pretty sick. Like beyond that song Bad Guy, I mean there's so much a lot of it remind me of like Lord, a little bit of Lana Del Rey, and like whenever like all these like old industry dudes and record dudes get like hard for some 17-year-old's career, I don't believe it. Like I don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
But when I checked it out, the production is killer on it. Like her
Very
brother
killer.
is like her secret weapon on
Yeah.
And I know that everyone's like, oh, she just whispers, whatever. She can sing like Billie Holiday in 7 different keys and can layer it in like a really cool cadence and do interesting stuff. So the talent is definitely there, and it's the songs are catchy and quirky and clever, so it's good stuff.
I love to see, because there's so much shit, and when pop music and records like that come out that are a little bit above the rest.
And it doesn't sound like any of the rest of it. It's very different,
Like she's 17 or 18 by now. When she's in her mid-20s, she's going to be doing some really cool stuff.
If she doesn't die, yes.
Yeah, if she doesn't die, for sure. Yeah. It's throwing it out there.
Some people don't handle fame well. I don't know anything about her, but I mean, she looks like she's more an even keel than like Amy Winehouse or something. But
yeah,
let's hope so.
That's right. Whatever happened to Amy?
All right. Episode 50. Here we come.
Parker, number 4.
Number 4, I chose this band, Shadow of Intent. It's a little bit of everything. It's black metal, it's symphonic metal, prog metal, metalcore, metal this, metal that,
metal
fucking,
on metal.
That's it, man. Oh, fucking Anvil Only Wishes. One of the best fucking movies of all time, though, right there.
Shout out
Great
to Lips.
movie,
dude.
shit
Lips
band.
Yeah, hey, that's
The funniest part about that doc, not to digress, is like all these guys growing. I'm like, man, Anvil was like I don't remember Anvil ever being shit.
Yeah.
Like nobody was in the Anvil.
Lars does an interview for like
They
30
suck.
minutes.
There are bands where only other musicians like that band. I mean, that is a phenomenon. We know several of them. That's a thing. But like,
I don't know how a musician be impressed by And I love the story and I love the movie and
They
I
were like on the
rooted
level-
for those guys, but it's fucking terrible. But
Yeah.
anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I give them this. They're still making out.
Oh, yeah.
God bless them, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
I'm
at
in their
least-
corner. I just
least
don't want to listen to
the
it.
Mentors and Pile Driver quit, but Anvil keeps at it.
Let's keep going.
But the album's called Melancholy, Shadow of Intent. That's it.
All right. My number 4 is a band called Pup, and the record is called Morbid Stuff. Somewhere along the way, it's like Pinkerton era Weezer meets like Desperacidos meets like Jeff Rosenstock meets the Hold Steady. This record is fucking amazing. There's their 3rd album, and the songwriting is just amazing. It's just like this pure chaos with nothing but hooks, and it's unreal, that record. So good. And just like every other episode that we mention a lot of music, there's going to be a huge playlist with all these records, so it'll be under Red River Podcast episode number 48.
It's gonna be a big playlist.
It'll be a big playlist. So
They did the most clever thing to promote that record. They released like the sheet. They released the chord progressions to the song before you heard it, and they had people cover it just based on the chords in different instruments,
which was great. That was,
and they were all better than the real song.
That's insane. But a dude that I know, Craig Shea and his band did that, and I didn't know what they were doing. And then I realized that that's what it was. Like, so to promote that, they release, like you said, the chord progression and the lyrics, and every band recorded their own version to see what it would sound like.
Because you don't know the tempo, you don't know
Yeah.
the time, you don't know anything about it other than that.
Yeah.
Which is
So,
interesting.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a great way. Like, whoever thought of that, it just, in this day and age, it's nice to see certain things that are just so interactive.
The
and-
collabo, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. It gets people excited. So number 3, Langan.
I got the Claypool Lennon Delirium, South of Reality. Primus, big fan of Primus, but right after Pork Soda was the last fucking album I was interested in. And then he did like, a million fucking bands and shit. I always loved his playing or whatever, but this was the best thing I've heard him do, like musically. It sounds like a Beatles record, obviously, but Claypool doing his fucking thing. It's got parts of it that are a bit like Pink Floyd-ish, and the groove is great on it, but the songs are really good.
Yeah,
it's not just Les Claypool fucking doing like bass masturbating and shit,
I
But,
heard it was great. So it's funny, like, I love year-end stuff like this because it allows you to like look back at certain things. Like you mentioned that record, and I'm like, for sure, I forgot to listen to that record because there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
So
I missed a lot as well, man.
Good. So number 3,
All right. My third one, also loosely rock, is Lana Del Rey's Norman fucking Rockwell. It's pretty killer. A lot of it reminds me of like Fleetwood Mac, and I know like the whole witchy Stevie Nicks thing is in right now, and they definitely capitalize on that. But it also kind of like there's elements that are almost reminding me of the Doors and other things, and it's very different from like her James Bond type theme song music that she does, or like the stuff that sounds like an iPhone commercial. Like this was like much, I don't know, it was like almost jammier. She has like 8-minute songs on it.
What
and
was
shit.
the cover on there?
Sublime,
That's what
Doing
it was.
Time, and that
Doing
was
Time.
really good. Actually, it's a solid record, and it's very interesting and different. I thought it was a lot of different covers because there was a song called Cinnamon Girl, but it's not the Neil Young one. And there was another song that had another
It's a type
title.
of negative one.
Yeah, it was sick.
Mm.
For people out there, my headphones keep popping out, and Sam's pushing it in for me to.
I'm completely
I'm across the table.
chopping
We need
all-
another
I'm
pair,
chopping
but
all
we were
this
waiting
off.
till episode 50.
Yeah,
For the,
we're waiting for that
We need,
Patreon.
we need some gaffer tape on that shit, dude.
First of the year, the budget comes back.
exactly.
It's just this little piece there.
Once this
Appreciate
quarter
it.
ends, it's going to be
Actually,
killer.
Yeah. So you Lana Del Rey.
Yes.
Number 3 part.
Number 3. So Dan Tur, I actually went over to
They
his
were
house.
gonna say Dan Zig.
Yeah. Went over to his house for his birthday, and he actually had this playlist going. This was recently. This was this past September, and this band comes on, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, who the fuck? I'm like, this fucking band sounds great. It sounds like something like from the 90s or whatever. And the name of the band is called they're called Inclination, and it reminds me of like a 90s band Chokehold, and then add Disembodied to it. So it's got great sing-alongs. It's very political. I dug it right away. So thank you to Dan Tur for introducing that band to me.
Very pro-Trump album, I'm sure. Okay. My number 3 is this year a lot of like old school bands came back and made great records. Jimmy Eat World was one of them. Just a bunch of bands.
That was a good record.
That was a great record. Didn't make my
Last song was killer on that.
Didn't
I
make
think
my
that was the
top
best.
10. But
You had the Pixies on that list before that
yeah,
you posted.
my
that was
full
a great
top 10.
record, too.
Yeah. But my number 3 is the new Sebado record, which is Act Surprised. I there's a song called Celebrate the Void, and I always think that's the name of the album. But the Sebado record, fantastic. One of the best records that they've put out in a very long time. Man, just really good songwriting. Like both singers are doing their thing. Like you put it on, super easy listening from beginning to end. Fantastic to see a band from the 90s that was so important, and to have Lou Barlow still play with Dinosaur Jr. and then on his off time do fucking Sebado again and put out a record this good. Fantastic.
Is he still doing it on a 4-track?
No, it's beyond. No, he's past the lo-fi stuff. So, but that's my number 3, Sebado. Now, Langan, number 2.
My number 2 is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Ghost Teen.
Good record.
Yeah, just blew me away the first time I heard it. I've always been hit or miss with his stuff. but
same. Like Nocturama was
yeah.
my favorite, and it's been a long time.
I mean, he's made so much fucking shit, and a lot of it's so varied and stuff like that. But this one just, it's without a cliche, but like hauntingly just beautiful. And the music sometimes minimalistic, the lyrics are great, and his voice is one of a kind. And but the songs are fantastic.
He's hitting
Very emotional.
Like, this is one of those records that I haven't heard, but everyone's like throwing it in the top 10. Everyone's loving this album.
Highly recommend listening to it in its entirety too, like the whole thing through, because it's definitely got like a feel to it. All the songs.
It's a full train ride. If you get on.
Buy a ticket to ride.
I wonder if Dan Turp put it on the playlist.
I don't know. We got to say.
I will say Dan's number one album is Beck, so that's pretty cool. The Beck
I
album,
saw that. Yep.
But
I heard that.
Bryan Maher, number 2.
I'm ashamed, but I don't care. I fucking love this record. Third Eye Blind came back with a millennial whoop record called fucking Screamer, and it's fucking sick. I know, but it's like
a millennial whoop
record.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly what woo like that kind of shit, you know. It's like, it's all electro drums. It sounds like what the kids are listening to today, and it's Third Eye Blind doing it, and they're doing it better than some of the like contemporaries who are in their 20s. It's surprisingly fucking good because it doesn't sound anything like Third Eye Blind,
but because they use a contemporary sound. Now, here's the interesting part.
It's like Whitesnake in the 80s, like taking it up, you know?
So that's funny that I even mentioned Beck, not knowing he was going to say that, because that's what the Beck record is. The last 2 Beck records are basically him incorporating these sounds that are super modern and like whatever pop, like, but when you're such a good songwriter like him or like Stephen Jenkins,
Beck's probably less of an asshole.
Maybe, I don't know. Scientology.
Supposedly that's not true. That's just a fucking rumor.
Nah,
he claims that's not real.
I think he left the church. That's my
You're confusing him with Jenna Elfman.
No, they are pretty similar looking.
She's still down for the cause.
I will say Beck was banging the redhead from Dazed and Confused.
Nicole Kidman? No. Oh, no.
That's BMX Bandits, goddammit.
Thunder, sorry.
BMX Bandits, goddammit.
Marissa Ribisi. Like, remember in Dazed and
Confused? I love them redheads.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Red's
person.
Red, my favorite color. But yeah, so Beck was doing the same thing. Like, his last 2 records are very modern sounding. But it's funny when you take someone who's good at songwriting and super brilliant, that can jump into that world and make those records like that.
I can't wait for you all to hear this on the playlist. Put the song Screamer on it.
Okay.
It's the title track.
I will add that in there. Parker, number 2.
I think I would have banged Mitch's sister before. Yeah.
Oh, who does?
Yeah, she was hot.
No,
she was
dominant
hot.
Monkey motherfucker.
She was hot in Coneheads too. She was hot in that too.
I don't know, that kid's mom. She was ride or die.
Yeah, she's got that fucking.
You want a girl like that?
Jamila Jovovich in the egg chair.
Oh, so hot. These 2 bands didn't make it, but you were talking about bands that came back, and so Sacred Reich came back.
Yeah,
really dug that album, and a band that I really. Jesus, I don't think I even.
So this is not your number 2.
No. These are like honorable mentions. They didn't make it, but because you brought it back, these bands are coming back. Listening to Jamie Josta's podcast, and he's always talking about this guy Tommy Victor with Prongs. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. It's pretty fucking good.
That guy's great.
It was pretty good, and I mean, I had the honor of seeing Prong, open for Pantera at Nassau Coliseum. It was supposed to be Sepultura, but you can't.
That dude's putting out shit constantly.
Yeah. But I dug it. I really dug it. It didn't make it, but I dug it. But my number 2 was this band called Enforced, and
fucking killer.
Yeah,
they're
records
from Richmond.
Yeah,
they sound like Power Trip.
Yes, and I actually
they sound like cops.
Yeah, and I actually said I was just like, this is what I've been waiting for because I'm sick of waiting for this new fucking Power Trip whenever it's coming out. I said this does the fucking trick right here. So At the Walls is the album, but it's fucking killer.
Parker.
Crossover.
Coming up in like the 90s playing gigs, did you ever play with that cop band fucking Smack Factor?
No, but that's a great name.
No,
but I did play with Death
nuts.
Kids. I played with Death Kids, my first band. If for the one listener out there, if you don't know who Death Kids are, it was a death metal band with literally 3 little kids, and the father was the bass player and the manager.
Like Legend 12?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Throwback.
So, yeah.
My number 2 is a record that blew my fucking skull away. Baroness, Golden Gray. This really, I know I mentioned it before, but like, if Thrice made a follow-up to Artist in the Ambulance that wasn't called Vishu, this is what it would sound like. And
Well, they had a bad wipeout, right, or something? Like, didn't they like have like a bad accident or something?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
No,
Baroness.
Baroness.
Yeah,
They
dude
got
was
messed up, right?
laid up. Yeah,
well,
they're solid, consistent.
this is the only album I've ever heard of theirs, and it's so fucking good.
You'll
Like,
love the whole back catalog then, because they have just
When
had
they
a
used to be called
sound and
Destro?
Go with it.
Baroness was kind of hot though. But songs like Tourniquet, that's my jam.
Yeah.
Blankets of Ash, like really haunting stuff. Pretty harmonies, pretty melodies, and the guitars are fucking like so good. What a great goddamn album, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put this on a playlist. So are we up to number one?
Yeah,
Number one
number one
album of 2019 for
boom,
Langan
is Alcest.
God damn it. Me too.
That's it. Yeah, Spiritual Instinct. These guys are amazing. Every album they've ever put out is fucking amazing. They're just a perfect blend of black metal-ish but shoegaze, but in it's hard to explain, but it's savage at times, but it's got a ton of melody. Singer's great. He's not screaming the whole fucking time and shit. They're out of France, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's not a long. It's
6 songs, I think it was.
yeah,
right?
and a couple of them are longer.
Is that your number one too?
Yeah.
But
You guys rubbing dicks under the table?
no
I actually sent this
question.
back to Dan Turr after I stole that fucking number 3, and I was just like, "Tell me what you think about this." He's like, "Yo, I dig it." So
Yeah.
It's
kind of
like-
like
Can't
It's
fuck
like
them
My
all
Bloody
over.
Valentine.
He fucked me, I
meets, like,
fucked him.
black metal, but it's great, and their whole fucking back catalog is great.
Anything else you want to add to that?
I found them. I didn't listen to it first on Spotify. I saw they released a video, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" So I click it, and I'm listening to the first single, and literally the way that the song was structured, it went everywhere that I wanted it to. Like when it fucking kicked into a fast part, like my heart started going. I was like, because I thought that was what was gonna happen. I love it when a fucking song does that, like go in the direction that you want.
Yeah.
So I was fucking blown away. I loved it.
All right, cool. So Mar, number
Numero
one.
uno.
Yeah.
Just want to give quick honorable mentions. Like a lot of really great bands didn't put out albums; they put out just EPs or one song or whatever. Because like I said in the
I
streaming,
made that separate
yeah.
list too.
Yeah, I didn't bother to make that list, but I mean, Soul Asylum put out a killer song. Mark Lanigan put out killer songs. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Like, just people are just dropping.
Flanagan actually
killer
put out
stuff.
a full album.
Yeah. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, but
Well, I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah, it came
I
out.
saw like there was dribs and drabs had been coming out.
4 songs, and then
He really it took he was dropping like a song
My release
every
radar
week and
fucking
shit, and I was
didn't,
just like,
didn't give me the goods
because it was driving me crazy. I'm like,
Foo
when's
Fighters
this
put out
fucking
an
album
EP.
came out?
You know, like
Yeah.
everyone's dropping shit. But my number one band is this kind of unknown band from like deep in the South Midwest. They produced their own record. They're not on a label, and now they're fucking touring with Guns N' Roses.
Black
They're called,
Suit Youth?
No, they're called Dirty Honey. We put out a record last year, not this
Oh.
year. But it's a band called Dirty Honey. Imagine if Greta Van Fleet weren't like corporate posers who talk with fake English accents. It's like a real fucking band that does have those Zeppelin and like Aerosmith kind of influences, but they're fucking for real, and they're better. You know, they're a little older, obviously, so they have a little more practice, but they're solid.
I heard Greta Van Fleet is actually from Shirley. Is that true?
Nice.
Shirley, Michigan.
Shirley, Michigan. So, you know who always talks about that band that you just mentioned, and not to bring the vibe down, but Eddie Trunk. So that's why I always avoided listening to it.
Dirty Honey.
Yeah,
Really? Well, Eddie Trunk is into Guns N' Roses, so now he must have heard they're on the road with him.
yeah.
They got Shooter Jennings with them too. I mean, they're doing an eclectic shit. But at least I'll say this much: all these fucking tours coming around now, it's like Motley Crue with Def Leppard, with Poison, like, or so and so with like Rat and like Quiet, right? Like Guns N' Roses at least is bringing out new bands. At least they're filling slots and helping to elevate. Because now all these other bands don't do that shit, you know? Like
Well, they don't want Motley Crue yelling at them.
But how do you feel about UFO?
Yeah, they don't want Motley Crue yelling at them when Axl decides that he's gonna, wait 3 hours in between their sets. So they bring out.
well, they
some-
can't take out Motley Crue because Axl and Vince were gonna rent an island to fight to the death. Literally
Yeah,
gonna
whatever.
rent
I'm
an
still waiting
island.
for that fight.
You know what? They're both still alive. It can happen.
Who'd win?
That's
They're
actually,
both in
look,
rough shape.
I love
Yeah.
Axl. I want to be on Team Axl, and I love Vince. So it's a tough one, but
Like now fighting, not back in the day.
Yeah,
like
now it's
now on
talking
the
about.
island, they're too little heavy.
Husky. The term's husky.
You know,
Who's
I
the
think
one with the
Axel is in
cornrows?
better shape, but anybody can murk anybody at the right moment
That's
if they catch
true.
you. So I
Yeah.
mean,
it might be a great fight.
is the fights happening in a mud pit? Is it over a bridge of fire? It depends. Like on the
Here's
situation.
what I'm looking
Joe
at.
Rogan can make this happen.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this guy, Axl Rose, who is affected by everything. Like everything throws him off. Seems like
Not anymore. For like the last 4 years, he's been on a pretty even keel. He has a sick regimen. He gets to the stage on time. It's like it's not dangerous
He
the way
arrives
it used to
at
be.
the show. He
Yeah.
attends it.
And then I'm looking at Vince Neil, who in the early 2000s was on VH1 getting a soccer mom hairdo and a facelift. So like these.
It didn't take, man.
No.
He lost all that weight. He was
Yeah.
on Celebrity.
Oh, he looked
Fit
great.
Camp.
Yeah.
But I feel like Vince Neil's been through darker shit. He might have more darkness and might go further where Axel might not
He might
take it to the nth degree
He might
to
go
finish
there.
him.
Vince
Yeah.
might go there.
Yeah, he might go. He's
might
already
stick
killed
him.
one person.
Shout out to
Hey,
Razzle.
Axel, you want to go for a ride? That's how he's gonna murk him. Want to go to the liquor store?
It'll be like Stuntman Mike type shit. I don't know. We were driving and he's dead now.
We're not getting backstage for crew. I'll tell you this much right now.
But
I did it once.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, you did for sure. And
And then you got hepatitis.
I didn't meet anybody. They weren't fucking socializing.
anyway, fuck those. Anyway, my number one.
We
album-
digress.
Well, yeah, my number one album is one of my favorite bands of all time. They came back last year and they put out 4 songs called Kicker, and it was some of the best songs that they've ever done. And this year they put out a record called Problems, and that's the Get Up Kids. What can I say about this band that I haven't said?
Big fan, are you?
Big big fan, are you?
Did you interview this guy yet for the other podcast?
Matt Pryor we had on Red River.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that was like episode
How the fuck
6.
did that get past me?
I don't know.
I didn't
Shit.
make it. That was just you two guys.
Yeah.
That was just me and like Parker stared at him.
Yeah. I was wearing a Coalesce shirt. That was my only.
That was it.
That was that. He was like, Coalesce shirt, huh?
I had a dub of that first record. I remember it just reminds me of driving all the way out to Greenport Skate Park, which because back in the day there was no skating in Nassau County. I had to go that far, and just had a crappy dub tape that like was all fucked up with them on one side and Boy Sets Fire on the other. And,
I played that skate park with Tension once.
Yeah, we played there.
Yeah.
I fucked up so bad. We played in the middle of the day, and I put on sunblock, and we started playing, and it started melting into my fucking eyes, and like I just it's like white sheen. My face was burning, and we do song into song, so I had to wait like 3 songs
to
wipe the fucking burning chemicals out of my eyes.
That was before your gorgeous beard.
But my
too.
vision got better.
There you go.
Oh, there
So
you
maybe
go.
there's something to that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's my number one album of the year. Now we could move on, and I really want to talk about. Did you make a top 5 hip hop album of 2019?
I just did top 5. I did top 5 hip hop of the decade. I didn't do
The decade.
only.
All right. So then, me and Langan will just do this real quick. So,
But I could jump in right after.
yeah, for sure. So we picked both 5 albums.
Yeah.
Of 2019. So
Which was the hardest thing. It was harder than rock for me.
because there was like
was
30 or 40
loaded.
Because
albums.
6ix9ine was in jail, obviously. What the
Loaded.
fuck are we going to
Total.
listen to? He was the whistleblower.
What's your number 5?
Ill Bill's black metal.
Okay. Black metal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was actually a re-release.
Was it?
Yeah. That's a great one.
shit.
What
Then
happened?
I'm going to give it to the one I had next to it, Cannibal Hulk.
Okay, yeah.
Shout out to Gore, because Gore represents on that shit.
Oh,
Friend of the show.
yep. 3-time guest.
And yeah, fucking great album. Dark beats, grimy as fuck. What more can I say? You know what you're getting with those guys,
For sure. My number 5 record I can't believe that I liked as much because, I don't know, Guru's dead. So the new Gangstar album, one of the best yet.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I'm sure everyone knows by now, but, Guru had a partner, and his partner had all these rhymes, like a cappella stuff that he was working on. And
You Tupac'd him.
what happened is Premier and this dude had beef, and he didn't want to release his stuff, and it was some like messy thing. But like after a while, Premier's like, what do you want for this stuff? And he was like, it was kind of blackmail, but He's like, I don't care. He's like, I gave him money and he went away and I got the verses. And then from there, Premier made a Gangstar record that sounded like fucking Gangstar, which is insane.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, and it was their first record since Owners, which was like 2002.
Yeah.
The beats are great, and it allowed him to have people pay tribute to gangs.
A lot of great guest
a lot of great
spots on that
guest
shit.
spots for that reason. So, number 4 hip hop album of 2019.
I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this.
Sure.
But I mean, he dropped mad shit with 3 albums this year, more maybe. DJ Muggs, it's a French name.
Makami.
Nah, Tuesle something or other.
Yeah. That's
However the fuck you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love what Muggs is doing right now. He's taking so many chances. The beats are like unorthodox, but fucking so dark, man. I mean, last year too, he had a fire year. Like he's killing it right now.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Maybe like he looked at his bank account after 20 years and was like, all right, I get, like, you know, maybe it just
insane
lasted.
from the brain money fucking ran out.
Like it just lasted because he basically puts out 10 songs with so many people. Like it seems like every month.
It's crazy.
But
that
yeah,
EP with fucking Mayhem Lauren.
Yeah.
I mean, this.
It's like, what's up, DJ Khaled? Fuck that Assad shit. I'm doing it
He
now.
put out so much shit this year, man. But that was my favorite of it. But I could have went with fucking any of them.
So my number 4 is somebody that worked with Muggs, but I didn't pick that record. It's Crime Apple, and the record, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Verdi Panem. I have no
People
idea.
getting too fancy with the album names. This is
Green
hip hop.
something.
Yeah,
This is fucking hip hop.
Yeah, you're from Jersey. Stop making me pronounce this stupid shit. So the beats on this, same thing, very dark, but he's very lyrical. And once you get past like these like moody beats, it's not for everyone.
No,
Some people listen to it and they'll find
that Mug shit isn't either. No.
Yeah, it's like super boring to some people. But
Is that the album with D'Angelo Vickers and Endemans on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking great is that? So good.
Bananas.
Amazing lyrical like play for sure. So number 3.
Diabolic and Vanderslice Collusion.
Yeah.
He put out 2 records this year, both fucking awesome, but I had to pick one. I just looked at Spotify and see which one I hearted more songs next to. I'm like, all right, that's gonna be my choice.
Yeah.
But Diabolic's verses this year were just fucking
super lyrical. He's on my number 10 with both albums. Hunting Station, MC, just amazing. Like really, when it comes to lyrical wordplay, him, Apathy. There's certain people that are just so good at it.
Yeah.
My number 3. Shout out to our boy Gore, aka Lord Goat. So Ill Bill, Cannibal Hulk, Stu Bangers, like you had at number 5. Great concept, and it was like a nice return to form, and it was cool to see 2 guys from Nonfiction back at it, working and doing some stuff beyond.
Those guys' references are just so great.
Yeah.
As an old metalhead too,
Yeah.
you never know what they're gonna drop.
Yeah, for sure. Number 2.
Vinny Paz and Tragedy Gaddafi, Camouflage Regime. It's just savage.
Goon music.
Savage goon music, man.
Yeah, like the amount of people that should have gotten robbed and shot to that album.
Should put that on the way home.
Really? You'll like it. It's really good.
The whole record bangs.
Write that down.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Griselda. So it's basically Benny, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, and fucking West Side Gun form the 3-piece. They put out a record, their first group release, which is What Would a Sheen Do? WWCD. Dark.
Yeah.
Like this is like as close to Wu-Tang from 93 as you're gonna get. Just fucking Buffalo, like just drug talk, like pure ignorance. Love it.
That other Benny the Butcher fucking release this year was killer too, but short.
Crack My 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Number 1 hip hop album of 2019.
Czarface meets Ghostface. It was my number 1 halfway point of this year. It's still my number 1. Inspector Deck's my favorite member of the Clan. Always was.
He had a great record this year too.
And I didn't like that as much.
I like
the Czarface, I love so much because it's consistently the best shit he's had to rhyme over as a solo artist.
Amazing. Amazing that he found a second life and home with them.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even a big fan of 7L and Esoteric.
Right.
So when they got together, I was thinking like, okay, this is basically like them seeing Run the Jewels and thinking like, okay, we're going to form this group, like LP did with Killer Mike.
Right.
I wrote it off like that. Especially since by that time Wu was definitely like cooling off, and then you hear it in the production. The new record's fucking great.
That was on one of my lists too.
Yeah.
That's the Odds Are Against Us.
Yes.
That song Burrito about
So good.
That's fucking
I'm gonna
so
go see them January 16th with my boy Billy Z.
Where?
They're playing Sony Hall.
Oh shit! I might have to go to that.
Let's do it.
That's fucking killer. But yeah, it's I can't say enough about that fucking release.
Just like you, my number one hip hop record was the one that I mentioned at the halfway mark. I listened to it in February. Nothing has topped it. Nem's Gorilla Monsoon is the best hip hop record of the fucking year.
That's the Goon record of the year.
That is the Goon record of the year.
Garbage is one of my favorite
fucking
tracks.
Lyrical, it's fucking great. I can't say enough about it. When we make these lists, I know, you listen to something in January, February, and you're like, okay, this is the bar, and for the next 10 months. This is the album that you have to beat, and no one topped that record.
And there was a mixtape release of his that was great this year too.
Yes,
with a lot of freestyles.
A lot of freestyle stuff. So basically,
Monsoon 2, I think it's called.
What a lot of these guys were doing, because Spotify and all these streaming sites are so prominent now. Like black metal, what happened? These are things that weren't released on digital or on streaming platforms, so they started coming out. So when you look at black metal, that came out almost seriously 12 years ago, but it was the first time that they put it up on Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to edit that out.
For sure. So, okay. Back to Earth.
And we're back.
So those are our hip hop records. We'll ask Parker for his later on.
Unless a new crisscross came out, I gotta go crisscross, man.
It's just Chris now.
That's it.
That is true. There is rest in peace. Do you want to talk real quick about live shows?
Yeah.
So I know you and I have the same number one, but anything of note, Langan, that you want to talk about? That
I didn't go through a lot. Slayer, Misfits made my fucking lifetime, so I'm good. But you guys, whatever you got.
Everybody should go see a band called Wells, Wells. They came back around New York City in February, and it was an incredible show. They played Mercury, and last time they played Gramercy, so it was cool to see them in a more intimate setting. I was right up front. I was taking pictures and dropped my phone and smashed it, and I didn't give a fuck because the show was so good.
I almost feel like you mentioned them last time.
They're consistently great.
Yeah.
I might have.
Very cool.
Well, they came out in 2018.
We still haven't listened.
Yeah. But look, it takes a lot for things to take, You see an advertisement on the subway for the herpes and go get tested. No, you got to keep reading it and wait till you're itching.
It is
true.
A while. It is true because that's how I, all of us process it. One day, years. My friend would always tell me to listen to Run the Jewels. So she's like, you got to listen to this record. But to me, I'm thinking LP's last album sucked.
Which one?
His last album?
No, which Run the Jewels, they tell you to check out.
Well, the first one, of course.
Second one's the best. That was my number 5 of the decade.
But so I'm saying, it was one of those things where I was such a huge LP fan, I didn't give a shit about Killer Mike, but by that time they were both winding down, and I didn't want to give it a chance. And then one day, maybe a year after the record came out, I put it on, but on my own when I was ready to basically absorb it, and I was like, fuck. I'm like, how did I fuck up not listening to this thing? And from that point on, I was...
Yeah, you got me into that.
Killer Mike is just a fantastic human being. I would
Yeah.
love to fucking hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
Everything that guy touches is sick. I love his TV show. I love everything he does.
Super smart. He's the smartest guy in the room that will fuck with you. But huge heart. I would love to hang out with him. Seems like a cool guy.
I'm always in Atlanta. I've never seen him. But, maybe I'll get lucky next
Never
time. I've never seen him at the Claremont. Doesn't come around.
He might
be when I'm there.
He might be checking T.I.'s daughter's hymen, just like
Oh man, it's brutal.
You need special credentials for that shit.
Parker, what do you got for live shows?
All right, so I left the house a couple times this year, which was very exciting, and it was different venues every fucking show.
Whoa!
So, yeah, when I was making
Relax.
this list, I was like, my God, I'm exhausted over here. So
The downtown?
no, I wish, and that's right down the street. But so Vitus was the first stop for this year. I went to go see. Yeah, it's tiny, but what are you gonna do? So's my penis. fucking shit happens.
Wow, there you
So
go.
I went to go see this band.
editing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll keep it warm, man.
It's on Wiki, baby. Went to go see this band, Conjurer and Wolf King. Great fucking metal band. So I went to that. Went to go see Knocked Loose at Revolution. That was like a goddamn jailbreak.
It's a drummer with the nice nipples.
Yeah, those
dude.
guys are wild, man.
Big nipples that dude has. I went
Silver
to,
dollars? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like fucking National Geographic motherfuckers. I went to
I don't know what that means, but I know exactly what that means.
yeah. I went to the Hatebreed 25th anniversary of PlayStation. That was cool because that was fucking them, Terror, the good version of Cro-Mags JM, and Obituary fucking killed the show. They were the fucking best band the whole night. Earth Crisis, Brooklyn Bazaar. I went to that. I went
Do-rag or no do-rag?
Who?
Carl.
Yeah, I think still, but he's pushing like 300 pounds now, so it's kind of just like, oh my god, like
I don't know what that has to do with do-rag. But
yeah. Perturbator, is that how you say
Perturbator.
Okay, good enough. Irving Plaza, went to that.
I wanted to go
First
to
of
that
all,
show.
it was the Ministry show, wasn't it? Is that
No, that was Carpenter Brute.
Oh, I was
yeah,
gonna
this
say-
is my second synthwave show.
I was like, how the hell did these guys leave before fucking Ministry?
I did. Fuck that shit. What else we got? Misfits.
Punch.
Misfit. Yeah, no floor punch. Misfits. MSG. That was fucking crazy. That was just on a whim. I was out fucking running around and got a free ticket, which was cool. So that was a blast.
Picturing you running around getting a free ticket.
Yeah.
Like
I wasn't.
running around the block.
I wasn't
Look,
physically
dude,
running around.
Any show you don't have a ticket to,
Yeah.
go to anyway, because there's some motherfucker who bought 4 tickets and has no friends.
Yeah.
You can always get in.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Sometimes for free.
There you go. All right. And then Newfound Glory. I just went to that at the Paramount. And tomorrow I'm going to my 3rd annual Christmas show with the boys in Incendiary. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, fucking 3 years in a row. God damn it.
Real quick, actually, the best show I saw this year, just reminded myself of it. My wife is a really big Talking Heads fan, so shout out to Raina. Went to go see David Byrne's American Utopia on Broadway.
I gotta go.
Blew my fucking mind. I've never seen anything like this.
We gotta talk after this because I'm supposed to buy tickets for that for Christmas.
Listen, what you should do: stalk the day you want to go. Be flexible.
Yeah.
The day of, tickets do drop down. And I would say it's better to be in the balcony than in the orchestra because you see the full view of the stage because they do wild shit. The way they utilize this theater with lights and the way they do the staging. They broke this band down. It's an 11-person band. Instead of having a drummer, one guy has the snare, one guy has the kick, one
Wow.
person has the cymbals, whatever. And so they're all mobile and they do all this like synchronized shit to the songs. And it's like some of his solo stuff, a couple of Talking Head songs you'll definitely know. It's an unbelievably fantastic
I can't believe
show.
there was another guy.
Like,
There was another guy in the Red River Facebook group, which is way bigger than the podcast will ever have, for some reason. I don't think any of those people even realize we have a podcast.
Definitely not.
it's the best show I've seen in years. It blows. I've seen
I can't
so much
believe
shit.
it. We were
It's
just
unreal.
Today, like my girlfriend and I were talking. She's like, "Are we going to exchange gifts?" And I was like, "I don't know." 'Cause she's leaving on Monday to Arizona, and then she's like, "Can we just go see David Byrne on Broadway instead?" I was like, "Let's do it." So it's funny that you mentioned that.
You should. It's like balcony was like front balcony good seats for like 70 something, but
That's
if you
not-
wait till day of,
No, that's fine.
you could probably get it for 40.
Yeah,
Because,
still.
I was getting closer to the end, so maybe a little more premium. And then actually Monday I went to Carnegie Hall and saw fucking Beethoven.
That's sick.
It was like the Clockwork Orange shit,
I thought
like
he
the
was
ninth.
dead.
Yeah.
Ah.
But it was funny. 'Cause the ambassador from Germany came out to do a speech just as my gummy was kicking in, and like I just
Whoa.
and I didn't even know.
Fucking
I
edible.
didn't even know
We have
where the
kids
fuck I was.
listening.
Yeah, whatever. It was a pretty. I've never been in Carnegie Hall or anything, so and it was really crazy because just as it was, everybody was showing up late because it's all tourists, and they don't like label where you're sitting really well, and all these fucking people couldn't figure out where they're sitting, and I'm like just so high, I'm like get the fuck in your seats. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Really,
I'm tripping out.
things bother me. Like if I'm in like a movie theater and like the show's just starting the movie and somebody still has their phone out, I want to like just throw something at the back of their
I
fucking
hate it.
head.
Terrible.
So I'm like,
I hate it because I'm usually sitting next to her.
to see all these swarming people who came here to shop from Europe and like they can't figure out like they're in like D7 is like which is fucking driving me out of my mind. And then this guy's like talking about German unity and shit while I'm like getting really high and I'm like, I don't even know what's gonna happen. But shout out to that orchestra, it's crazy, man, because they'll do like this concerto, this song, and then they all got to get up and move around and move their chairs and do crazy shit for 7 minutes just to do another song. Imagine if we had to do that.
I don't know.
It's terrible. The
but
drummer
I gotta
can't even
go.
kick a beat.
It's exhausting.
I gotta go. It's funny that you mention it. So, very cool. I'll just mention a couple of shows that I saw that I really love that stick out in my head because I didn't really keep track of everything. The 2 Idols show that I saw this year, fucking mind blowing. Like, if you ever get a chance to see Idols live, watch it because it's fucking just everyone is involved. Like, I don't know what that band did to connect with so many people that everyone is engaged. No one's on their like everyone's just staring at this fucking band give like a 100-minute performance. They play a lot of fucking songs. They only have like 2 albums. Unreal. Then the other one was the Misfits at MSG for sure. Like that was the Misfits show was everything that I ever wanted of a show since I was 15. You know, like watching that, being like just I don't know, like that was it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Was it better than Chicago? No, you didn't go to Denver, right?
No,
That's right. That's right.
Whatever it was, that was it.
Just a punk band like that of your youth playing fucking MSG. It was crazy.
Jerry giving the bass to the girl in the wheelchair.
It was a
like
perfect
everything
night. It was a
about
fun
it
night.
was like,
Yep.
For sure. Like you could have rolled life end credits at the end. We could all died and be like,
That was good.
yeah, it would have been like, all right, we're all dead now, but you know, we finally got to this point and everything's all right. So let's do top 5 movies of 2019. Langan, number 5.
My number 5 was I just saw this the other day, and hardly reinventing the wheel or anything like that, but I had a good time watching it. Ready or Not.
Yeah. My top 10.
Fucking
Wait
fun,
to see that.
fun movie, great action.
How great is Samara Weaving?
Yeah, she was awesome.
She's so hot
Yeah.
and fun,
Yeah.
and she was in The Babysitter.
Mhm.
She was in that movie Mayhem,
Oh, yeah.
made by I think Joe Lynch, who's from Long Island. He did a bunch of cool stuff.
Let's get him on the show.
Yeah, let's do it. I think he lives in Cali now, but
Yeah,
Ready or
just
Not.
fucking fun movie, great action.
Did you guys watch it?
No.
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good popcorn flick, man.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I saw it in the theaters. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Bryan Maher, number 5 movie of 2019.
My number 5, the only DC movie I've ever liked, Shazam.
Okay.
The fucking hero of Philadelphia. It was hysterical. It's really funny. I liked it a lot.
On the plane,
Yeah, I saw it on a plane.
on your way to China.
No, fuck, I don't remember. Either Seattle or Italy. I think Seattle.
Seattle or Italy. I can't
It's
remember.
one of those.
This dude's flossing on us so hard. Seattle or Italy. Okay, that's fine. Parker, number 5.
Number 5. I went into this not knowing what the hell it was about. I just knew that it was a good cast, and I knew the name of the director, and it was called The Irishman. That's all that I knew about it. Thought it was just going to be another fucking mob movie because it was, you had all the, the A to Z fucking mob guys. But then when I actually got into it, I was like, okay. I was like, Jimmy Hoffa. I'm like, this is cool. I was like, I was a Teamster. I worked for fucking UPS. I can get down with this or whatever.
The scene at the concrete plant, they filmed it at my
And
job.
when I'm watching that,
At
I
Teamster
remember
location,
seeing that.
ironically.
Well, funny enough,
Yeah.
the ice cream shop, Hildebrand's,
Yeah.
Williston Park. That was about 5 blocks away from where I used to live.
They shot shit in Mineola.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they filmed in my neighborhood
Yep.
left and fuck. My whole neighborhood is like a fucking movie set every week, but a lot of the scenes with like the car garages and shit, that was
Mhm.
all like right down the street from
Yeah.
me on like Palmetto.
Yeah. I thought Ray Romano was fucking great. I thought his character was fucking great.
Sick.
He was cracking me up in that movie. It was good. Was it great? No. I mean, I probably watch it again if it was on. I didn't mind that it was over 3 hours. I'm serious. I'm serious.
laughing that it made your number 5.
Yeah. Well, because going back, like I said, I was into
Would
way
you watch
much
6
more.
movies?
Actually, yeah, I think it was 6. A lot more TV.
Dude,
a lot more TV.
For Sebastian Maniscalco and for fucking Action Bronson, they were killer, but like, it was like,
I don't
they
even know.
could have got 30
Sebastian.
minutes out of it.
What about Jim Norton?
The
as Don
fucking,
Rickles,
the,
man.
the comedian.
Oh, Don Rickles was fun. Yeah, the guy
I know the
fucking played him.
comedian, but what part did
He was
did-
Crazy Joe Gallo. He was the
Yeah.
fucky madman.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey,
I
the
didn't
fuck
know.
out of here.
I thought the best of that movie was Pesci.
he was
'Cause
good.
Normally he's so like over the top,
Yeah.
and this was
Yeah.
a real restrained
Yeah.
character for him.
Yeah.
And,
Because his heart meds, he can't
Yeah.
scream at people anymore.
But I
yeah.
did like
a lot of good performance.
I
But that's
did-
what you get
yeah.
from a Scorsese movie.
I did
you know?
like Hoffa better though. like Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito Hoffa.
Well, the worst
You know?
part about The Irishman, I thought, was them like dying. They dye their hair black and like, oh yeah, they
the
look,
CGI,
they're
the
30
face
years
and-
younger.
yeah.
De Niro looks 30 years younger now,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Quick.
Like ridiculous.
In The Irishman, there was like a scene where like fucking when they're sending De Niro down to Florida to like meet up with like the guys from the Bay of Pigs.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pesci's like, yo, you got to meet a fairy named Ferry. That guy, Ferry, Joe Pesci played him in fucking Oliver Stone's JFK.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
he told
Oh,
the-
that's
he
fucking
sent
sick.
De Niro to go meet the guy that he used to play.
That's
pretty
pretty
good.
great.
I mean, it's
Like
definitely
that.
purposely for sure. That's funny. My number 5 is a movie I saw in the theaters in February, and I loved it. It was, a lot of people seem to have an issue with it. A lot of people didn't even watch it, but it's called Escape Room, and man, it was one of those things where I get how people wouldn't like it, but sometimes you just go see a movie
I didn't like
and
that
it just kills. Like, I watched it and I was so goddamn entertained in that movie. Fast paced. I don't know, it was tense. Love the ending. Love like the sequel setup. Everything about it. It was almost like James Bond meets like Saw. You know, what didn't you like about it?
It just didn't do anything for me, man.
You saw it at home.
Yeah,
In the theater, it just makes a big
I
difference.
get that.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So,
Yeah.
Number 4 movie 2019.
My number 4 was I go back and forth here. I was not blown away by the movies this year. I got to be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah. My number 4 though would be Under the Silver Lake,
Oh,
which was out very early in the year, I think.
so you know that's the guy that did It Follows.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's I like films like this, just like a crazy night in LA, where LA is like a major character of the movie and stuff like that, and it's very surreal, trippy, original.
Jerry Smith loves it.
Yeah, it was great. I highly recommend it, and it went away kind of quickly.
Yeah.
But, revisit it.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Mar, number 4.
Another superhero movie. Sorry. I had to do Avengers Endgame,
Okay.
I just love mindless, romping superhero movies sometimes, and it was a lot of fun.
I
mean, it was not as good as the one before it, and the whole segue when they're traveling in time got boring for a bit. But at the end, like I said, a lot of the movies this year sucked, and this rose to the top 5 because the competition was not so crazy.
when I watch stuff like that, which is never, but like
When I do.
when I do, it just looks like I'm watching like a video game. Like
To a degree. Well, this one, if you had seen all the movies previously,
I
it
haven't
did all
seen any
build
of
to
them.
like this entire climactic thing they've been working on for 10 years. They have been serialized movies like Planet of the Apes and whatnot that do build together, but there's never been a level of world building like this, So, it was like the culmination of all this time, and so it's just fun,
Yeah, if you're a fan, I'm sure it's cool.
I hadn't
Everyone
seen
seemed to love
any
it.
of them,
Mhm.
and I took my son to see it, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without knowing like anything.
Dude, Iron Man is
it's a
fucking sick.
popcorn movie,
Whatever. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. 4, Parker.
Number 4. Well, funny enough, number 4 we did an episode on, and that's The Dirt. So
We did.
yeah,
Oh, all right.
yeah. Well, technically we
Oh,
did,
that's-
Oh,
right?
at Rizzo's.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny because I didn't really think to add that.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
It would have definitely made my
Shout out to Razzle.
Yeah,
shout
so
out
we
to
spoke
Ryan.
about him. We spoke
Pour a
about
little
Vince
out.
Neil. Yeah,
That would have made my top 5 for sure.
Fuck.
no.
Good one.
Yeah,
Thanks, pal.
You
Totally
pulled-
forgot.
Hey, I only saw 6 movies this
That's
year.
what
but
happens
that
when you
was a
don't
good
leave
one.
the house and you watch.
I was like
Netflix.
looking
Yeah.
back through because I rate anything I watch. I rate it on IMDb, not for pretentiousness, because I don't remember what I've
You don't-
seen
you gotta
sometimes.
keep
So I'm
track.
like, what year? And I'm like, oh, I gave that a
I
7,
do that on that
6.
that letterbox.
A lot of
shit.
I
four-
got
A lot
I
of 4s
Yeah.
I gave this year.
this upcoming year. I'm gonna do a letterbox.
Yeah,
I
Dan Terror once again. He goes, "You gotta fucking do." Okay, Dan.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Ah, you guys are a cute couple.
yeah, we like it. We like it. We like it.
Like 6 mentions already
That's
for Dan
it, man.
Turner. My number 4 is The Irishman.
Hmm.
Man, what is there to say? Like, you have like
A lot of time on your hands.
Well, I didn't want it to end. I loved it. I was like, 3.5 hours, and it flew by because it's a mob movie. I mean, a lot of the stuff is weird. I don't really believe that Frank Sheeran killed fucking Jimmy Hoffa or Joe Gallo for that matter.
Mm.
But it was interesting. in that book, you paint houses and all that other shit.
Right.
But I was entertained, and I'm sure there's some truth in there. I did like
It was Jimmy Hoffa got killed by those dudes from Nothing But Trouble with Dan
Frank
Aykroyd,
Whaley.
right?
Oh, Frank Whaley.
but
Career opportunities.
there was that funny scene in the beginning where De Niro goes to beat up the guy from the deli, and he is very old, I guess, in real life, because he looked like he was like George the Animal Steel, like hitting some. Like it was such a.
I think he even like missed a kick or something.
did.
I was
He
like,
stepped
oh.
on his finger. And
Is that what
weird.
it was? I was like, oh.
It was like this like wrestling move, like where you don't like.
It's too
really
bad
did.
that kid didn't fuck his shit up. The kid from the Bronx Tale and Sopranos.
Yeah.
That
Lalo
played,
Brancato.
yo, he looked so much like he could have just followed De Niro through his career and just played whatever you are in this movie. I'll
In
be
that
the young
thing,
version
the
of
younger
you.
version.
Oh, that was his role.
Well,
He's probably
He
still in
probably
the
lost his
joint
SAG
though.
car when he was getting butt fucked on D Block. You know?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. He's probably still
No, he's
in
out of jail actually.
yeah, he's out of jail.
Big comeback coming.
But
Yeah, they're scraping off his face in the fucking prison.
He just missed the one role he could have got.
Yeah.
guess we're not getting him on. I know he's friends with Mike Dowd, and we have the Mike Dowd connection. But
Edit that out.
you could have just done a different angle.
Mhm.
You could have done like an over the shoulder shot or something to make it look a little realistic. But he did like the long view and all that. But small little things in the beginning where I was just like, yeah, that's kind of weird. But after that, like, I loved it. It's like,
It was fun to watch those guys work together.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And yeah, whatever. I mean, the criticism that I brought up was something like Netflix. People pay for a subscription, and they, between that and the fact that you have social media, it's just so much easier to just give that opinion. Where it's like, like you, what'd you say? You wrote that thing on Facebook. You're like, I was folding my laundry watching The Irishman. I didn't like it. It was boring. But in my head, I'm thinking like, the only people I want to hear from are the people that would have gone to the movie theaters to go see it.
Sure.
Whoever would have paid to go see it.
Right.
Like what Brian mentioned about Tool.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Tool fan, and he didn't like that Tool record.
Right.
That's who I want to hear from.
Yeah, like I'm a big Tarantino fan. The
Exactly.
Hateful Eight, they could have, it was too long. They could have cut a little bit out of it. I don't know. I liked it.
Relax.
Didn't love it. But,
That made my top 10 of the decade.
Uh-oh.
I've got
Please.
Tarantino in my top 10 of the decade, but that year got edged out by something else.
Okay. Well.
I saw that on Christmas motherfucking Day in
Nice.
film with the intermission.
Oh, with the intermission.
I was there.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
Yeah, whatever. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times it's just, man, you hear people who would never paid $1 to go see The Irishman,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just like knock it. But it was funny. I think it was you. You were like, it was just so funny because you were.
Did I say that?
As somebody, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was somebody. That
but it was getting a lot of hype. And it was
folding
also,
a
there
lot.
But it was
Sorry.
pretty funny, so I'm going to take it.
But it was coming on the
Sorry.
back of that fake controversy where Scorsese was talking shit about like saying like comic book movies can't be high art. Meanwhile, gangster movies weren't high art until they made it high art. So anything could be high art in this society.
I was
whatever.
not too.
You
Yeah, I didn't know really too much of that conversation because I just didn't click onto it. But I guess he was just knocking superhero movies.
Well, he was being mad that that's the big tentpole that's dragging butts into seats now, and that his movies aren't. They have to go to Netflix because they're not going to draw. But I mean, also, if he made it 2 hours less, he could put out 2 of them a year and make more money, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like people would have gone to see. Maybe if it was like an hour less, they would have gone to see The Irishman.
Yeah, movie theaters don't want to pick it up because if you show it 3 times a day, you make X amount of money. You can show it 5 times a day, you make a lot more, right? I mean,
And on top of the fact that people are so annoying now, like you got to sit in a movie theater for 3.5 hours.
They
What
don't
are
have the
the-
attention span.
But not only, what are the chances one of those people in the theater aren't going to annoy you? Like it's just
no,
impossible.
they're on Grindr with the guy next to them.
There's
It's
no
fucking
chance.
annoying. You know?
Meet me at
Get away from your phone for 5 fucking minutes.
yeah.
You know? Like,
Meet me in The Irishman. Give me a hand job or something.
I hear you paint houses. You want to paint my face?
Anyway, whatever. Number 3, Langan.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, what? I feel we discussed. We had a whole episode about Quentin Tarantino discussing it. I
Yes,
don't know what
we
else
did.
to say about it.
No.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, we did. We
Was
did
it my favorite Tarantino movie ever? No. but it's 2019, and that's what I had to work with.
Well, no. So it made my number 10.
Yeah.
And the reasoning was that it beat out things like It 2, and there was a couple other movies that it beat out. Midsommar. The worst. It's my least favorite Tarantino movie, maybe next to Django.
I had to give it credit.
I think it's a little better than Jackie Brown.
I actually love Jackie.
Yeah,
Brown.
I agree. I agree with that.
It
But
grew
I
on
hate Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's fucking wooden and mediocre. It bores me. But
He's in two of my best of the decade movies.
I liked him in this movie, so it must have done something for me.
Yeah.
So there it is, number 3.
But you know what it is? His worst movie is still better than so many other movies.
I think it was The Gangs in New York that just made me shake my head eternally about him. But anyway,
Yeah.
But there it is.
Number 3.
Where the fuck was I? I'm sorry.
Ragnarok.
That wasn't this year. All right, I'm off that shit. Actually, it was actually the
Wonder Woman.
Tolkien, the biopic of the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings. But it was like Dead
Wonder
Poets
Woman was
Society.
good.
It literally had nothing. I watched it on a plane. I'm sorry, but it had nothing to do with Lord of the fucking Rings. It was actually just the guy.
Were all your movies on a plane?
Yeah, it was either On My Way to Morocco.
Two or not. There was no movies on the way to Morocco. That fucking plane.
I was going
That was a shitty
MacArthur
airline.
or Rocco.
My wife actually
Morocco.
got punched by a maniac on that plane. It was fucking we got into a whole thing. But I didn't want to like kill the person because I didn't want to be held in customs in Spain. But all right, it's not important. Anyway,
I mean, that's a great story, but go ahead.
but the Tolkien movie was sick because it was like that dude was in World War I and he was there with like his boys who fucking got like killed and they got poison gassed and it was like fucking crazy. I wasn't expecting. I knew he did, go through the war, and it was also like he was like had this like girl that like society made him break up with, and he's like he was a brave guy. He was like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I got to do, and then he wrote books, and he was an incredibly brilliant guy who invented languages and shit. Like it was a cool movie, and it was done really well.
It's called Tolkien, just his name. I want to see that.
Did he invent Klingon, or was that someone else? All right, number 3.
Oh, that's me.
Oh,
Sorry.
that was your
that
movie?
was number 3. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it. It was really good.
Holy
It's fucking
shit.
dude. It's a violent.
What happened to
bloody-
The Irishman?
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty good.
Irishman didn't make my list, dude.
Oh man. All right.
I saw 7 movies in that.
I'm up to 6, man. I'm right there with you. All right, so number 3. This was good. I really like this movie. It was a Shudder exclusive. I think it was a Shudder exclusive. And the director helped write A Quiet Place, which I dug that movie.
Nicolas Cage.
I forget what. No, God damn it.
It's actually 2. The 2 of them.
Was it 2?
Yep.
Haunt.
Yep.
Yeah. Dug it. But the cast was primarily unknown. It was pretty fucking violent and graphic. I really dug it. It's not to give too much away, but it's about a bunch of kids that go to a haunted house.
Penetration.
Yeah, it was fucking.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's a great one, man.
I
Yeah.
dug it, man.
Shout out to
And
Damien.
Damien Maffei, who
Yeah.
was on our podcast.
What?
So he was in there because when we had him talking about Strangers,
Strangers 2.
he was talking about this movie Haunt.
Yes.
So Eli Roth produced it, and then the guys that wrote A Quiet Place
Yeah,
also
fun
wrote that
movie.
one, so. My number 3 is my favorite anthology in a very long time, probably since Chillerama. Mick Garris's Nightmare Cinema. Fucking great. So 5 stories, 5 different directors. The first story is the guy who made
That
One
was
of
this
the Dead.
year?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I feel like
Yeah.
it was last year.
No,
That was great.
He made One of the Dead. The second guy, the second story was Joe Dante.
Mhm.
Third story was Midnight Meat Train Dude.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah, the fourth was Hard Candy director, and then the fifth was Mick. And wow, just such a great, like everything about it, like unbelievable. 5 stories, very easy to watch. Just 5 masters of horror doing their thing on this thing with a wraparound that included Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
In a duster.
Interesting choice.
Yes, I know.
That was great.
Jabroni.
Fun movie.
So that's on Shudder right now, and it's fantastic. Number 2, Langan.
2, this is a tie between the Hulu's
God damn it.
Firefest documentary.
Yeah.
And Netflix is
Damn it.
Firefest. I can't pick one. They were both fantastic. I watched one. I watched the other one. I couldn't get enough of that story.
I feel like the Netflix one may have edged out the Hulu one just a little bit.
If Amazon Prime made one the week after, I would have watched that shit about the same story.
Yeah.
We followed the story closely here at Red River Podcast News because there was just so much perfect about. I mean,
I've never had no sympathy for a victim more in my life.
The only people I felt bad for were the guys on the island that got hired to build all this shit.
Yeah,
and didn't get paid. Other than that, everybody got some shit that you didn't give a like. You know,
like everyone else. Everyone else.
Suck it, Chad.
Everyone else went home to just go be rich again.
Yo, and the dick sucking guy is.
But they had to know what it was like to actually be stuck and marooned and have no food coming. They had to understand what it was like to be at the bottom for a fucking day.
A rich guy was going to blow a government agent for water, right?
He was a star.
I mean,
that guy was sick.
What a star. I hope he's working on a book deal or something because he went away fast. But I mean, God, it was perfect. Both of them.
Yeah, you will not find, and that was around the time of Hidden in Plain Sight. I'm pretty sure too.
Yes, it was.
So you will not find better time for documentaries at that time. You just watch them, and they were so fascinating. Of this disaster, you watch this planning, and you're thinking, what was this guy Billy thinking? As it was
it's amazing.
It's
so
insane.
great. What was going through this guy's head?
Yeah.
Was he totally delusional, thinking he'll pull it off somehow, or was he just this thing that just steamrolling of wrong everything?
Yeah, unreal.
And Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. Yeah, well,
perfect.
Yeah, pretty much perfect storm. Number 2 movie of 2019, Brian.
Yeah, so Robert Pattinson, he's having this real renaissance right now. I think he's cool. So now,
where's your other hand?
Now, the movie The King with Timothée Chalamet, whatever, it was actually a more historical take on one of the lesser known Tudor kings, whatever. It was a Netflix movie, pretty good budget for a medieval, late Renaissance, whatever type fucking movie. It was sick. I watched it in not on a plane. This was in this weird apartment we were staying in Verona, and it was kind of haunted, and the TV was going by itself, and it kind of added to the creepy vibe. But it was a really cool movie.
Verona, is that in Levittown?
Verona, Levittown, yes.
Making sure.
But it was well done. It was a good I like movies like Braveheart and shit like that. But I like when it actually executes historical accuracy, where the things are dressed for the time. They're not in these. All those movies are in these medieval castles, but by the era of this shit, they wouldn't have been. Most of the time, they would be, and they actually did it right. The one with Chris Pine wasn't nearly as good, so this was way better.
This was the shit.
Yeah.
I'm mad ignorant when it comes to shit
I was just going to say, I love history movies, so I was all into it, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm Sam don't even want to know what happened last week.
I want to see Army of Darkness. They're bad as historically correct.
I think I was talking about Dunkirk on the show once, and I was just watching his eyes glaze over.
Oh, I saw Dunkirk, and I thought it
fuck
was...
history, man.
How long were they flying in those planes? Yeah. It was weird that it was in 3 different timelines. It had to kind of adjust to that. But man, these guys have been up here for a week, huh? That's crazy.
Why did I go see Dunkirk in the theater? Maybe I went with Karen. I don't remember.
I just remember
you really like Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy.
I just remembered you telling me about history.
I don't care about history at all. At all. I don't.
What's worse, reading or a history movie?
I'd rather read because when people talk about history,
you'd be in jail.
Yeah,
that would be it.
I gotta catch a bid. You know what it is? I just don't find it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't care. It already happened. That's it. Genuinely, it did. I don't give a fuck.
I love it.
All right, Parker, number 2.
I had drum and bass. Throw that in.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had fire, fraud, and fire. So my favorite part was just the cheese platter pictures, just when they were doing the catering, when they started tweeting about that. And the blowjob guy.
Well, yeah, blowjob. Or Ja Rule on the speaker.
You should get blowjob guy on the podcast.
Let's do it, man.
I feel like we can.
Get him to recap. See what he's been doing lately.
My number 2, so our buddy that we had on the show, Rob G, was working for a company called Dread. So he sent me a bunch of screeners before he left the company for Fangoria. And this was the best one. So much so that it's my number 2 movie of 2019. It's called Harpoon, and it has one of the guys. Did you see that?
No, I've just been seeing you post about it. Nonstop. I want to check it out.
Yeah, one of the one of the guys, the guy from I think the actual Turbo Kid's in the movie. So all right, so the beginning is just these 3 friends, and it's a super low budget movie, but it doesn't seem like it is. It's mainly in one setting on a boat. And it's the relationship of these 3 friends, and the 3 of them are all kind of like terrible people, like It's Always Sunny type terrible, Seinfeld type funny. So
like Joe Hess.
Yeah, like Joe Hess. I'm rambling.
Yeah, oh boy.
But Joe Hess.
Fucking Hess.
He's outside somewhere.
Probably
touching someone's leg.
I didn't mean to. So it's the relationship of these 3. This one dude thinks that his friend is banging his girlfriend, and that's kind of like how the story starts. And they end up on this boat, and their relationship and tensions start like coming out, and secrets start coming out, and yeah, it's so good. It is so goddamn. It blew me away.
Is that streaming anywhere?
Well, I don't think so, but you know what I did.
Movie HK.
I got the screener, but also like whenever I can't find anything, I just go to YouTube. So YouTube has it for like $3 or $4. You know, unless you want to go the illegal route, that's on you. For a movie like that, I super suggest to support it.
Break the law
by giving it like $4 or $5 of your money, because it's really, really good. Like, it's really good.
Talk it up. They can print your quote on the box when it comes.
Oh yeah,
nice.
It's getting no press.
It's worth $4 or $5.
Yeah.
Sam of the Dead says this shit'll fuck your face.
it's getting no press. Like, it's got like no fucking like likes on fucking Instagram, and it's one of the best movies I've seen in the last few years.
Was it as good as like Downrange?
Yes.
I gotta write that down too.
Downrange is good.
Yeah, I know a guy that was in that movie.
Do you?
Yeah.
That was really good. That's on.
He was
Shudder.
one of the cops that got murked. This guy Graham, I know. Shout out to Graham.
That might have been maybe that was last year. That was really good. That was super minimalist too. Yeah, it was like that. It was just very much one setting. It's just one person shooting at someone for like 90 minutes. But the gore, the violence,
Just basically high school in America now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, shout out to school shooters. Langan, what's number 1?
Midsommar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You
artsy bastard.
Yeah, I just it's this guy's movie. I know Hereditary was another love it or hate it one. I liked it. I like the way it's shot. I like the way the film looks. I like the way this film looks a lot. And God, I don't want to fucking say the word slow burn because I'm so sick of that fucking phrase. As much as like truth to power, I hope it goes away next year. But anyway,
Speak your truth.
Yeah. Oh God. But
this is your journey.
It's a different kind of movie. It definitely moves very slowly at certain points, and I get it. Why some people didn't like it, but I was hooked.
Yeah.
I like.
Did you watch it?
What? No, I haven't seen it yet.
Did you watch it?
No, I still haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Yeah, I like this one. This would have been like 11.
This is the guy who
was
did
better
the
than
goat,
Hereditary.
the fucking the witch,
no,
whatever.
No. That's Robert Eggers. This
Goat
guy
fucking
did,
the witch sounds fucking good.
This guy did Hereditary.
Black Phillip could get it. That was a good-looking goat.
That was the best part of that movie.
The only good.
It was Son of Sam with a fucking goat in like the Puritan times. That's all it was.
So bad. There was a lot.
People love that movie. I was like,
borderline history
what
right
did
there.
you watch?
Puritan times.
What did you watch? Somebody chopping wood? That's all it was. Like, the
if you
Witch
picked
was so
worst
bad.
film of the decade, that's Sam's choice.
I
right
think
there.
so.
It's gotta
Wow.
be.
Yeah.
there's some
Gotta
bad
be.
shit, but that's pretty. That goes down though. I saw this terrible horror movie though with
Wood Chip Massacre?
no.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Jack
These
Frost.
people, these people got lost in a fucking pyramid and were being hunted by Anubis. It was really bad.
Oh, okay. We played a place,
But like last week, like not like in ancient times.
Yeah.
Like,
Did he look like Chief Woodenhead?
Nice.
But so Midsommar was fun. Like I like that. I actually enjoyed that movie better than Hereditary.
Me too. Definitely.
Yeah,
I didn't really like Hereditary.
I didn't like
The
it
end
either.
was kind of like ugh.
I thought it was okay.
The end is what
but
took
it looked
me out of it.
it looked fucking
It looked
great.
great.
How'd they get up in the treehouse with no head? Like, how the fuck you get up those stairs?
It was just like, yeah, the ending really took me out of it. Other than that, like I was expecting it to go more of like the Babadook route where it was like a grieving thing, and then once we got to that ending, I was like, what the fuck just happened?
I just think the director's got a real style of a shot, and I love it. They're amazing looking movies.
You want people like this making movies. You want Jordan Peele making movies. Even the Witch guy.
Do we?
You kind of do.
I feel like Get Out's the most overrated movie. It's like the Radiohead of
that's
movies.
because you're white and racist.
No, it's because I've seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers in the same fucking movie. I thought Us was much better.
Us was my number 6. Midsommar was great. I loved it. So, what's your number 1 movie?
Well, speaking of hot guys on boats with harpoons,
Richard Grieco?
Aquaman.
no, it's got to be
Aquaman.
if it looks good, kill, baby.
Yeah.
Fucking
French teacher.
Booker.
Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think was the best thing I saw. I mean, just the idea of if the Manson family broke into the house of a guy on acid who beat the shit out of Bruce Lee, what would happen?
Yeah.
It's get your face smashed into the mantle 44 times, you know? Like, it was incredible, you know?
I love that revisionist thing that
I loved, that was the best part. Cause,
I wasn't expecting.
You know, I was so sympathetic to Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. I didn't want to see them die. I was like, I kind of like these people. This is like terrible, you know? And it was, I was glad it went that route, that they fucking sexy Sadie gets fucking torched in the fucking pool.
Yeah.
And you know what? When he went to go fix the roof and the blowtorch was in there, I'm like, that's going to come in later. Like, it was just one of those like plants you knew.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's Tarantino is still making great, interesting films that get people talking. And any year he drops one, it's typically the best movie of that year.
Yeah, it is.
If it's not The Hateful Eight, you know.
Or Jackie Brown, which I love.
No, I like Jackie Brown
Not
too.
that there's anything wrong with that.
But yeah, we did a whole show.
Yeah.
Well, check episode if you're interested.
Oh yeah, we did a whole.
We
Tarantino.
deconstructed 4 rooms.
Back up
sick.
a few. Click it a few times.
We did a Tarantino episode for 2 hours. So, number 1, Parker.
Number 1 was Us. Jordan Peele. Cover your ears, racist.
Hands. I said I like that one. Hands Across America. That gets me every time.
Dude.
Is it because there was white people in this one?
I know some people hated the fucking ending. Some people liked the ending.
I hated all of it.
I thought it was good. It was.
I
different.
dug the whole fucking movie.
I'm on board with you, dude.
Thanks,
That's
bro.
right.
You know?
I don't know why that girl just couldn't have got out. She went up and met the other girl there or whatever. She could have just left the whole time.
She couldn't talk.
Yeah.
She could have walked out of that fucking thing the whole time.
What I liked about Us being, like I said, my number 6 movie, it was just so fucking weird and unique. And like the beginning, when you think back to it, the VHS tapes that were there were Chud and a few other things.
So sick.
But it was just like
Chud too.
But
Bud the Chud.
The thing is like those were the movies that inspired the movie that you were about to watch.
Yeah, no.
So like little Easter eggs like that,
That's cool.
which I really love, and I just like that. You know, the people like that, and we talked about Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. These people get to make these movies and get wide releases.
Mm-hmm.
A24 does a lot of cool stuff. Sometimes it doesn't land. Sometimes it does, but it's still better than watching like, you know, Insidious 18 or like Paranormal or like whatever, like all
whatever
that
they're up to.
other whack shit. So, my number 1 movie of 2019 is Brightburn. I thought Brightburn was fucking awesome.
Is that thing going?
Yeah, what?
No, just make sure.
Yeah. You don't want to miss any of this
We didn't
magic.
get any.
Brightburn was fucking great. What was the director's name that did Slither? James Gunn. Man,
Guardians of the Galaxy. Great fucking movie.
I don't know anything about that one. I'm sure
love
it's
Slither.
fantastic. Slither, and
I think he's married to Pam from The Office, maybe. Yeah,
I thought Jim was married to Pam from The Office.
In real life.
Did you hated Brightburn?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch Brightburn?
I didn't see it.
I thought it was a great
see it either.
concept.
Fuck.
I thought a
Yeah.
really great concept, and I thought it was fumbled in the execution.
Really?
Yeah, but a cool idea.
I'll watch it on the way to Australia.
Nice.
Are you really going to Australia?
He's going to book
I don't have my plane ticket booked, but I want to go before. There's already Stealing Water down there, so it's already Mad Max. So I feel like
Oh,
let me see it this year before you don't want to go there. Although I'm down for a cannibal party.
All right. Anything's possible. So Brightburn, basically, like if really what it is, it's the plot of Superman, but instead of this kid growing up to be cool and nice, he is not very nice.
Right.
And he has these powers, and when you make him mad, he's a child, but he is evil. And he does some fucked up shit. And his parents are like, they don't want to believe it, especially the mom. And it was tense because you're thinking, like, what are you going to do if your son, who you found, like, alien style, starts behaving like an angry teenager that could kill anyone? 80, 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great. Unreal. Like, I couldn't believe how much I love this
It's
movie.
like the Menendez brothers from space.
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Very much.
But
But
should have just done whatever that kid said. They would have been straight.
this is
Just wanted a bigger allowance. That was it.
This-
Go rob the bank. Let's go.
This is up on Amazon Prime, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
Believe so.
Because I did want to see that.
So very good stuff. Okay, cool. So let's cover the decade now. Now that we got 2019 out of the way, we don't have to think about it anymore.
Thank God.
Let's go quickly to 2010. Give me your favorite rock album of 2010, Langan.
Enslaves. Ex.
Give me a good one.
Ethica Odini.
What?
Which it's like by the ethics of Odin or some shit. I don't know what the fuck it stands for. It's Norwegian, but Enslaved's one of my favorite bands. That's my favorite Enslaved album. It's melodic, black metal, a lot of harmonies, a lot of stuff you don't hear on black metal. It's when they were kind of shifting away from that older sound and stuff like that. But that's mine.
Cool. Let me get your favorite hip hop record of 2010.
Vinnie Paz, Season of the Assassin.
It's a good one.
Vinnie Paz, just fucking savage, always.
Yeah.
Really not a bad album in the catalog.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I like when he does a lot of solo stuff. I don't know why it just... Yeah, I don't know. Like the earlier Jedi Mind Trick stuff, like there's something in the chemistry now, considering that Jedi Mind Trick is just basically him.
Yeah.
So I don't know the difference as to why, like, the solo ones I seem to like more. Give me your favorite movie of 2010.
Four Lions by Chris Morris, which is like a...
Is that real?
What's that?
By Zach Morris.
Zach Morris. Exactly. Chris Morris. He was on the It Crowd British show. He did a sketch comedy show, Jam. British comedian, but which I recommend.
Sketch
Jam.
comedy jam.
It's just called Jam. That's it. It's the darkest, most twisted shit. It's all over YouTube. I highly recommend it. Not enough people have seen it, but this is basically kind of an unorthodox comedy, black comedy about a group of Islamic terrorists.
Okay.
It's a comedy about like all the things that go wrong when they're trying to plan their fucking jihad.
Okay.
Which was this guy's. It's exactly.
It sounds way funnier.
Exactly. It's fucking good. And not enough people have seen it, but anyone who I recommended.
It's called Four Lions. That's the
Four
movie.
Lions, yeah.
All right.
And
Okay. Am I gonna get on a watch list for fucking watching this?
indeed, you already are for being on the
Yeah,
show.
probably.
So,
right.
okay. So, Mr. Bryan Maher, give me your favorite
Album.
of 2010.
It was kind of tough because the Suburbs from fucking Arcade Fire came out that year, but I had to give it to High Violet from the National. I mean, there's no better record than that.
Yep.
Ever.
Listen, preaching to the choir.
I know.
Do you have a favorite hip hop record of 2010 or not?
I didn't. I only did like
Okay.
a top 5. I couldn't
Okay.
do this much chronological
That's fine.
research.
So let's do favorite movie of 2010.
I wanted to give it to The Other Guys because I fucking love that movie so much, but as an objective human being, I recognize that Inception is a better movie.
It is.
And it was a fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big Nolan fan. Like, yeah, Interstellar's alright. The Bat movies are alright, but this one, I think he knocked it out of the park.
For sure. I actually like Interstellar more, oddly.
I liked Inner Space more.
Yo.
You know what?
Inner Space, great movie.
Inner Space is definitely better than Interstellar.
Yeah.
So, number one album of 2010, Parker?
Deftones, Diamond Eyes,
I love it.
by far. First album with Sergio from Quicksand to come on board. I think it was their 6th studio album. Fucking Rocket Skates. It's one of those songs I could still listen to this day, and I'm fucking don't get sick of it.
Guns, razors, knives.
Yeah.
Fuck with me.
Yeah, you've seen The Butcher. I love that song too.
That might be my favorite Deftones record.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not even going to ask you what your favorite hip hop record of
No,
2010 is.
no, I
Favorite
think
movie of 2010?
Chris Cross, we'll go with that again. So my number one movie of this year started out as a trailer when I went to go see a double feature.
Oh!
Two other movies, and it's in the M section.
Good pick.
And it's called Machete.
Great fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Good nudity, but it was fake nudity. You know, if I want to see Lindsay Lohan
Yeah,
naked, I
but-
want to see the real Lindsay Lohan.
I want to see Michael Lohan
You
naked,
can,
right?
drunk in the streets, crashing
You can
cars
in
like
a
he used to do on
multitude
Long
other
Island.
places.
Nah.
You actually probably can see Michael Lohan naked
No.
way easier than Lindsay at the moment.
He hasn't
What, are
committed.
you kidding
Like,
me?
he fell
She's
off.
got nude stuff all over the place.
Look that
She
shit
did
up.
make
Come
that
on.
movie with
She-
James
with
Dean,
James
the porn
Dean.
star.
She
yeah.
went in Playboy and shit.
Yeah.
But for that movie,
Yeah.
for Machete, she had to
It
have
was
a body
fake.
double.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Merrick.
She gave
okay.
away the store after that.
So my 2010 favorite album is also The National, High
Oh.
Violet, and also once again The Suburbs by Arcade Fire.
Wow.
I was like, man, one
That's
of
a
these
great
two.
record.
The National blew me away. Like I liked the record before Boxer, but once I heard High Violet, like Blood, Buzz,
Alligator was on before Boxer. So, you like the not the one before Boxer. You like
I'm
Boxer,
saying-
the one before.
yeah,
I gotcha.
Before High Violet. I heard Blood Buzz, Ohio, Terrible Lie. Like these
Sorrow.
songs. Yeah, Sorrow. And what I love about this record is the drums are so prominent.
Yeah.
Like that drummer is so good. And it's just
Yeah,
like
he's on some sick mathematical shit.
It's just like-
but in a good way that's not stupid, you know?
and it's just layering.
Yeah.
That's what the songs are. Like they're so simple, but they're just layers.
Atmospheric.
Yeah.
I mean, jung 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 jung. The tones they're getting with those chords,
Never
you know?
topped it.
Yeah.
Never topped it. My number one hip hop record of that year was actually Das Racist. Das Racist put out a record called Sit Down Man. Some really, really good stuff on there. But some of my favorite songs are Amazing. And there's a song called Rooftop with this dude Despot. Fuck. So goddamn good. You guys are getting it all on this playlist. And my number one movie of 2010 is I Saw the Devil, which was one of my favorite movies of all time. Have you seen it?
No.
Great.
Have you seen it?
Fucking great.
So, in the beginning of the movie, this it's South Korean.
That's not the movie where Willem Dafoe blows himself, right?
No.
Yes.
What's the name of that one? Let me get that.
You might be thinking of Antichrist,
maybe.
Oh, yeah.
but that movie had penetration.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I Saw the Devil is so the first scene is this dude who's a serial killer murders this lady who's pregnant. Her husband happens to be like a special agent or some kind of like law enforcement.
It's
And-
Korean, right?
South Korean, yeah.
South Korean.
So,
Not a big movie industry in North Korea right now.
yeah. So the rest of the movie, this dude goes out of his way, finds the serial killer, and the rest of the movie he finds him, captures him, tortures him, and lets him go. And then he does it over and over and over. And that's how the movie goes.
Yeah.
Whew.
So good.
Holy shit, what a good movie. This is definitely probably streaming I would say like
I
somewhere.
think it's on Netflix. Not
Yeah.
100%, but
I mean, either way,
it's-
like it fucking dropped
yeah.
$4. It's
all-
amazing.
Like how brutal is like the torture shit? Like Serbian film level or like
nah.
no, but it's got some brutal
No.
shit. It's brutal.
It's
Right.
a well-written,
so I'm not going to get on a list for this one either.
well-paced.
Yeah, it's a real movie.
You're not going to be able to fly anywhere.
I know.
It's not
I'm
like
worried about my passport right now.
No,
It's not like Trump.
it's like a thriller. Fucking, it's not.
yeah. If you're gonna eat people in Australia, you're good.
I already got accused of wanting to defect into fucking Tunisia. So
Who doesn't?
All right, 2011 number one rock album, Langan.
Rock album, Opeth Heritage. It's kind of when they made the permanent switch to not playing the death metal stuff anymore and just being more of like a prog band. And supremely talented band, fucking Michael Ackerfeld, genius. But that's my rock album.
Cool. Hip hop record.
I was gonna go with this, but I feel like I have this feeling like you're gonna tell me like that, dude. That's a compilation re-release. Heavy Metal King self-titled album.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to check. I'm like, dude, that was out like fucking
invalid.
15 years ago.
Invalid.
So I had a backup. But anyway, I love Heavy Metal Kings. Fucking, what can I say
Ill
about
Bill,
them?
Vinny Paz.
savage.
And a lot of death metal and metal references.
Yep.
Number one movie of 2011.
Number one. God, I'm still not sure. Well, I'll go with The Raid. The Raid.
Oh,
Wow, I forgot.
Classic.
The Raid. I was going with Raid or the Beats, Rhymes, and Life, the Tribe documentary. I was back and forth there.
I didn't add documentaries, but
Yeah.
makes sense.
So, but The Raid is my favorite action
Hell
movie of
yeah.
all time.
Incredible.
I hadn't liked an action movie since
Yeah.
I was younger, and that that generation we were in, the fucking Schwarzenegger and
Dude,
Commando and all that shit.
That
And
shit.
I was just like,
insane.
Yeah.
It opened the door for John Wick and shit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that wouldn't exist without it.
opened
you
the
know?
door for
Yeah.
John Wick and fucking the Kingsman movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like certain movies
It
that
was-
it's like that's
because
where they took
they
it.
got it. It was like, I want an action movie. It just delivers like a nonstop fucking fight.
And then the sequel was The Empire Strikes Back crossed with The Godfather. It was like the craziest fucking
One of
thing.
the greatest sequels of all
Later
time.
on, Netflix, the same dudes did when the night comes for us.
Yeah.
Yo, if you didn't see that,
Well, that's the one with the fucking that weird lodge with that demon in it.
no, it's the same.
What was that?
No, I don't know what that is.
The Raid. They did a thing with like some cult thing that had like a devil. Link maybe watched it. It was fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, that was VHS 2.
All right.
That was
Yeah.
just a segment.
All right.
Yeah, that
God,
was like an anthology.
Please make
thing.
a Raid 3.
But I'm telling you, if you watch when the night comes for us, it might as well be
Yeah.
the Raid 3.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. So Maher, favorite rock
I
record
thought
of
it again.
2011.
Made in a Garage. The fucking Foo Fighters Wasting Light.
Love that
Yeah,
record.
recorded on tape, done by Butch Vig in a fucking garage.
That's
And it
a
sounds
good-
great.
Yeah. Bob
First thing-
Mould on there.
Chris
Rope.
Novoselic, yeah, obviously Bob Mould, Rosemary, yeah, great. Florence and the Machine put out a good record that year too, but it just wasn't as strong as the one before that.
For sure.
So I had to give it to the Foo Fighters. On
That was the
one.
last great Foo Fighters record.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But
So
you know what pisses me off? I had the idea for Sonic Highways. Talking to Justin about it, I was like, dude, like we should go record it electric with fucking Albini. We should go up. There's a guy like Jeff Martin up in Canada. I'm like, we could just do one or two songs, and it'll be fucking sick. Like I had this idea
Dave
years
Grohl
ago,
stole
and
your
I
idea.
I
dude.
couldn't get them to go for it. Like
Yeah.
at the time, Oh, I don't know. We got to drive. Whatever. Pussies.
Dave Grohl. That's it. Tapping
I know.
into
Dave Kroll fucked me.
Black Suit Youth. Favorite movie of 2011.
Bridesmaids.
Really?
I don't care. Kristen Wiig can fucking. She's a goddess, and,
Yeah.
and everything she does is awesome. So.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
That's
It
funny.
was like, yeah, man, crushed. And I think 2011 was a pretty, nothing really stood out to me that year.
Okay.
I went back to even look, and I'm like, all right, not bad.
Parker, favorite rock album of 2011.
I went Earth Crisis, Neutralize the Threat. So this was produced by
The shoes are
Zeus.
destroyed.
That's it. Produced by Zeus, who did he did Madball, Hatebreed.
And he fought Hulk Hogan in fucking Over the Top,
Guy's
right?
dead. He's dead. It's in the end section.
No holds barred.
It's in the end
Yeah,
section,
right.
baby. This is
Fuck, Over the Top is the arm wrestling movie, right?
That's close enough.
this is one of the first ones that they were on Central Media, not on Victory. This was also when the dude from Fall Out Boy started touring with them and playing drums for them. Not on the album, but touring with them on the road.
All right. Favorite movie of 2011.
Favorite movie 2011 actually got me into a whole new style of music, because this was supposedly the quote-unquote thing that started this, and the movie was called Drive.
Oh,
That
wow.
got
Good
me into
stuff.
this whole synthwave movement. And
College was the song that was the repeating song, the real human
Yeah.
being. Yeah, that's some good stuff.
yeah, but this fucking movie is fucking great. I mean, Ron Perlman, fucking Christina Hendricks is just a piece of ass.
Yeah.
Just a piece of ass.
Shout out to her titties.
Yeah. Shout out to
Both of them.
Shout out to Ryan Gosling being a piece
And
of
her
ass,
amazing
too.
acting talent. Let's come on.
Yeah, well, you can't have everything. And Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad also.
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
I mean, from Malcolm in the Middle.
He's bald.
All right, my 2011 record of the year was a band that put out one good record and then didn't make any other good records. I mean, they were okay, but the first Yuck record, which was really great, like super, like for the stuff that I grew up loving, which was like very guitar-driven indie rock, it was great. So songs like Get Away were on that record. Fantastic shit. My favorite hip-hop record of that year happens to be Action Bronson's Dr. Lecter. I remember first hearing Barry Harvitz or Barry Horowitz. I don't know, whoever the wrestler is.
Barry Horowitz.
Okay.
Even I can answer
Barry
that.
Horowitz. So I guess Action is a big wrestling fan, and that was the first single that I heard.
He went to the same yeshiva with fucking Barry Horowitz, probably.
I don't know. I have
no idea.
I don't even know. But he pats himself on the back. That's all I know.
Yep.
That record is hip hop in its purest form. I absolutely love it. My number one movie of 2011 is You're Next.
Mm.
You know, super awesome home invasion movie, badass final girl, killer shit. So, 2012, Langan, favorite album?
Of rock albums, I'm torn between Meshuggah's Kolos and however you pronounce that. I got too much shit that's hard to pronounce.
You got to talk to Tolkien, man.
I know.
Set you straight.
Alceste, Les Voyages.
Nice.
It's got two more words in French I can't
Oui,
pronounce.
oui.
But that's the album that got Alceste like my attention with them. Definitely check that out.
Favorite hip hop record of 2012?
Probably it's Paz again. God of the Serengeti. I had a color. 2012. I didn't have like a standout favorite for that, but I always loved Paz. I actually want to give a mention even more than that. Perturbator. I Am the Night. That's like the first Perturbator getting into synthwave for a second album that got me into. It's like the soundtrack of a sci-fi movie from the 80s, and it's perfectly done.
Yeah, they were synthwave was popping around that time.
Yeah.
I think the Limousines kicked it off because they're still the best synthwave band on the planet.
And my film is Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
Wes Anderson. Big Wes Anderson fan. Love the way his films look.
Is that the little kid movie?
Yeah.
I hated it.
Did you?
Yeah. Saw it in the theaters, fell asleep.
I thought it was a sweet movie, and I love the cast he always assembles, and Ed Norton in that, Bruce Willis, Jason Schwartzman, of course.
I love
the
his
usual cast of characters,
yeah.
but I don't know, it just it's a beautiful looking movie, and it's a nice story.
For sure.
It.
Love it. 2012, Bryan Maher.
Best record, Mark Lanigan's Blues Funeral. It's just down and fucking dirty, and it's just
that voice,
that fucking bass hitting with that voice. Like, yeah, I mean, I would start smoking cigarettes again just to get that fucking dried out fucking power voice he has. Guy's a sick dude, man.
Always working too.
Yeah,
always. 2012 favorite movie?
Django Unchained. You know,
okay.
Fucking Tarantino puts out a movie, it fucking crushes. That's I think that might be my favorite Tarantino movie.
That's funny because it's my least favorite. I don't
really?
know why. Yeah.
Because you're a racist.
Full circle.
You fucking hate Don Johnson, you piece of shit. He was in it.
Don's Johnson.
Dude, I love him in Watchmen.
Oh my god,
I haven't seen that.
No.
You should. If you don't give a fuck about that kind of stuff, it's anticlimactic.
People
thing.
are rubbing their cocks to that show, so eventually I have to.
It is. It really is that good.
They are.
Oh my god,
they just are.
Yeah.
You wouldn't rub your cocks to Jeremy Irons being a creepy
If you like
dude?
The Boys, which I know that you did.
Oh, Boys
was on my list.
Good.
That's how
Me too.
Watchmen's
Yeah.
the same. You just episode
Actually
after.
on my list, Boys and Watchmen are tied.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have Boys are on my list.
Yeah.
So 2012.
Deftones again. What a surprise. How do you fucking Koi no Kwan? However the fuck you pronounce
Koi
it.
no Yoken.
You guys got to get Duolingo, man.
I know, man. Fucking, I can't even fucking do it.
I think that's. I mean, what a great record.
Yeah. That tour, I saw them at the Paramount, and they fucking killed it. But I see them every fucking year that they come around. What else?
Favorite movie?
2 actually tied.
I have 4.
Own them both actually. So this movie I just knew the title and I knew it was a horror movie and I was just like, all right, whatever. I know one of you two, I think, hates this movie, so we're gonna find out which one soon. And I remember calling Cousin Mike after I left this movie and I was just like, oh my god, I fucking loved that movie. It's not what I expected. He goes, I loved that movie so much that I literally walked out of the theater, bought a ticket, and watched it again. And that movie's called The Cabin in the Woods.
Who the fuck?
I hated it.
Who did that?
Cousin Mike, because he loved it so much.
Was
He went
slow?
right back inside and watched it again.
See, Is he half slow? Who would do that?
No, because he loved it. Because he loved it so much.
I always get that confused with Cabin Fever. What's the one when the guy washes his dick with mouthwash after he fucks the
That's
chick?
Cabin
That's
Fever.
Cabin
Yeah, I like that
Fever.
one better.
Yeah. That was my number 2. My number 1 though was Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
So
Christopher Nolan.
Shout out to
Yep.
Heinz Ward for making that catch.
yeah, there you go, man. Love it.
My 2012 album of the year, a 2-piece band called Japan Droids.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Celebration Rock. Man, this
So good.
record, 8 songs, and I've never heard 2 people make more noise until obviously Royal Blood later on. Younger Us. There were so many goddamn good songs. 8 songs, but it was just front to back an amazingly catchy rock record. Number 2, which would be my hip hop record of the year, one of the best hip hop records I've ever heard in my life, Joey Badass, 1999.
Great one.
Unreal. Waves, Survival Tactics, Hard Knock, just a young kid really making a fucking killer first album. My favorite, I have 4 movies, so I'm just going to mention them quick. One of them is Maniac remake. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Great music.
That, yeah.
John Dies at the End. Wow. Excision. Wow. And Compliance, which was how good was Compliance?
Great movie.
The
I
girl
forgot
who gets
about
the phone
that.
call.
Yeah, true story too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those fucking 4 movies. 2013, best movie, Langan. Best album.
Best album. Fuck, another one. Goddamn.
Don't say it.
Kavertak.
Okay, good. You didn't say it.
I think it's like Verlatek, isn't it?
Was
Yeah,
that
maybe the K is silent.
Yeah.
Bosnian hardcore band?
Nah, they're like, God, they're hard to describe, man. Fucking,
Hard to everything, I guess.
what was that? Remember that song, 1985?
You
Yeah,
should just
that's-
flash a picture. You know?
But that's not how they always sound. They always
Yeah.
sound like different shit. But they made an album called Mir that year, and I'm into everything this band does. They always sound different. They always bring something different. They rock hard. They're fucking very interesting band.
Rock hard.
Yes.
All right. Favorite
Yeah,
hip hop
brother.
record of
Hip-hop.
2013?
I was torn on this one, but Czarface self-titled came out that year. I'd probably have to go with Static Selector's extended play. I had Run the Jewels 1 here, but Run the Jewels makes an appearance like every year with my top lists and shit. So Static's extended play.
I didn't include any Static because if that was the case, he
compilation.
would have gotten everything. I'm going to accept it because it's a compilation. But Static Selecta is, this newer generation's DJ Premier for sure.
Yeah.
Great record. Number 1 movie of 2013.
My arty side is picking Under the Skin
Okay.
with Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
And my just guy fun side would be This Is the End.
Love that fucking movie.
Great movie.
It's so
Great.
fucking funny. I never seen people look like they having so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like making it, those guys.
I was so jealous of Danny McBride. Like, I would love to be like that with the fucking head on your head. That's always one of the best looks for the apocalypse.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
scene where he's arguing with James Franco about jerking off in the porno
Just
mag
ridiculous.
is fucking.
Yeah.
I could watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or
This
if I'm
scene with
having
the
a
chick from
bit-
Harry Potter when they're like, we're not going to rape her or whatever.
Michael Cera's like
I
a
don't know.
coke addict and shit. And, and
It's
yeah, Jonah Hill gets raped by Satan.
Oh,
It's
my
fucking
God.
ridiculous,
It's
man.
ridiculous.
And it's so funny. And it's I don't know. It's if you want to check your brain at door and just laugh your ass off, that's the fucking movie.
Best rock album of 2013, Bryan Maher.
That was the hardest fucking year. That was like the year all the good shit came out. I mean, Pure Love put out a record. Sharks, like killer
Sure
bands.
Love. Wow.
They were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Do you like the Frank Carter stuff now?
Not as much.
Mm.
I do like it. It's. I mean, I think for me, I like Pure Love, Gallows, and then that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, Frank Carter's a sick dude. I'm terrified of him.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah. He's a
Like-
monster.
I know. I've seen him in so many different situations, and he's just the command. It's almost like he has like that, like a vortex of power around
Yeah.
him, like Magneto or
He's
something.
about 4
He's
foot
sick.
2.
Yeah, but he'll kill you.
Yeah.
Easily.
I saw Gallows play the Crazy Donkey, and he did the whole set from the middle of the
Yeah,
place.
and people wouldn't go fucking near him. Just go
Yeah.
around him. Yeah, I saw him do that at Starland. I saw him on Warped Tour.
So
They were
good.
sick.
I gotta say too that Frank Carter song "Anxiety" might be my favorite song of the year.
Banger.
I love
So
it.
good, yeah.
The melody's so good. But
So-
anyway,
But I had to give it to the National. Trouble will find me. You know, One of my favorite records too. I mean, that and High Violet.
Don't Swallow the Cap.
Yeah, oh, dude, fucking
Shit, right? Yeah.
Graceless. I Need My Girl.
Yeah.
So many good ones.
Yeah. That was
I Should Live in Salt. Like, what the fuck even is that riff at first?
I
It's
think
like, what is this beat? You know?
I think that was the last one that I loved.
Yeah, same thing.
So.
Sleep Well Beast is all right. You know, whatever.
Best movie of 2013.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
That movie was fucking killer.
For sure.
You know?
Same.
Because Leonardo DiCaprio raises the art form, Langan. Everything he fucking does is
Yeah.
incredible.
I did like that movie.
From this
movie.
boy's life to the beach, he is infallible.
Best album of 2013, Parker?
Best album. So this band was gone. I don't know if they were ever coming back. They come back with this huge album. They come back with a tour. I go to
Beatles.
see them. Close. Close. The band was called Carcass. But close to the Beatles.
Fuck yeah.
And the album was called Surgical Seal.
Great comeback.
Was it Psycho Circus?
No.
Walker, Amat, and Steer are back together.
Dude,
Nice.
so sick. I saw them on that tour. I think at the Best Buy Theater. I think they came through, and that fucking album just wails.
They got something else coming out soon.
Yeah. Same thing. Wolf of Wall Street. First thing that I ever saw fucking Margot Robbie in, and I was like, my God, this fucking girl is unreal looking. I thought McConaughey's. Yeah, I thought that performance was very similar to Alec Baldwin's in Glengarry Glen Ross. Like he was in it for such a short amount of time, but just commanded this fucking big presence.
For sure.
No movies had more one-liners than Glengarry Glen Ross to this day.
Yeah.
Like,
ABC.
Yeah.
So for me, rock record, boy, that was tough. So it was definitely between Queens of the Stone Age, Like Clockwork, which is their last masterpiece.
no, that Mick Ronson record was awesome.
Mark Ronson?
Yeah, whatever his name is. Mick Ronson's dead. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mark. He was David Bowie's guitar
Villains
player.
is good. I love everything they do. But Queens of the Stone Age, Like Clockwork, and Jason Isbell put out South at Eastern. Jason left the Drive By Truckers. I couldn't believe he did. I loved all his songs in Drive By Truckers, and then he makes this record, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, okay. I'm fine with it now. Favorite hip hop record, Run the Jewels won. That is also my favorite ASAP Rocky record, Long Live ASAP. And then R.A. the Rugged Man put out definitely the best hip hop record of the last 10 years, Long Island in the House. Legends Never Die, and my favorite movie, just like everyone else, Wolf of Wall Street. So, 2014 favorite album.
I had 3 here. Triptychon's Milana, Tom G. Warrior from Celtic Frost, new band, which is amazing. Nothing's Guilty of Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 1's Behemoth the Satanist. The best Behemoth record. It's fucking savage, brutal, wall of sound. Hip hop, I got Run the Jewels 2. I had that, or Apathy's Connecticut Casual. I was back and forth on those two.
Apathy always puts out great stuff.
Always, man. I had Static too, but I can't mention that apparently. So fucking whatever with that.
Give it to Parker.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Army of Pharaohs put out a couple of banger fucking compilations that year, but RTJ.
Favorite movie?
I could easily go. I had Grand Budapest, and I switched back and forth on these other ones, but there was Raid 2 came out that year.
There you go.
Probably one of the greatest sequels ever made. If you like Raid 1, they give you the same shit.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with a story.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I probably Whiplash. I enjoyed a lot that year.
Straight up.
Yeah, you're a drummer.
It's my number 1 as well.
But what's his name is escaping
J.K.
me. Right?
Simmons.
Yep.
J.K. Rowling. I am killing it today with the Freudian slips, dude.
First of all, his
J.K. Rowling's got that role.
his
It's so
name is Schillinger.
Yeah,
Schillinger.
exactly.
Yes. Big comeback after getting shitted on by Beecher.
Don't forget he got shanked by Beecher too. He did get killed
shit
by
on
him
his
eventually.
face, bro.
Yeah.
In public.
Using a weight bench.
Yeah.
He didn't just hover
But,
over him. He at least got.
I mean, what the guy, you know that guy's great anyway, but this was his real chance to shine and stuff, and it's just an intense fucking movie. And if you're a music lover or a musician, it takes on another level. But that's what I got.
Cool. Perfect. All right. So, 2014, Bryan Maher, favorite rock album.
All right, so 5 years before he got canceled, fucking Ryan Adams put out his self-title, and it was pretty sick.
Did he get canceled? I don't know.
He's canceled hard. Yeah, he had to fucking shelf his album and call off his fucking tour and everything.
I still listen to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's super weird. He was like texting like a 14-year-old.
Dude, people listen to Michael Jackson who sucked off children.
Yeah.
You know, like, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Fucking all bets are off when it comes to like what's already been done.
Ted
you know?
Nugent got guardian of a 16-year-old from
Yeah.
off the parents just to
Elvis
marry
Presley, like Jerry Lee Lewis. Like
Jerry
all
Lee
these-
Lewis
Yeah.
married his 13-year-old cousin and then killed her, right?
I think it's just a matter of like fans.
Yeah.
Like if you're a fan, like I've never like heard someone like I could listen to G.G. Allen. You know, like I could listen to.
Yeah,
any-
he would be canceled today.
Well, you
I
got to
don't think
see.
he'd care.
There's no official jail sentence to canceling, so we have to see if Louis C.K., Kevin Spacey, who makes their appearance first.
What
And
did
then
Kevin
be
Spacey
like, okay,
do again?
So it's about 6 years.
He got acquitted for like fondling a fucking waiter or something.
But he's fondling people. You know, like
I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in some shit right now.
But when they come back, we'll know. I'm like, okay, so it's 6 or 8 years you can't do shit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be accepted back. So we'll see who, you know.
But like fondling is like one of those things that it's like, you know, frowned upon and it's shitty and you shouldn't do it. But like I can't put him in the same category as like a rapist.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Bryan Adams had two things going on. He had this thing where like he had this protege girl who's like becoming pretty famous now, and like they were like just hooking up, and he was much older and she's younger, so there's like this power dynamic thing. I can't speak to what their relationship was, but
Sure.
that's one of the things. And then there's apparently he was like doing like a chat roulette type thing with like an underage girl, and that's different. And the feds are looking into that. So like
That's
who knows,
that's a
you
fucked
know?
up one because the other one you're talking about is Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes.
So she was on my number 6 album or 7 album, which she put out a record with Conor Oberst.
Probably thanks to Ryan Adams.
Better Oblivion Community Center. That record's fucking awesome. So good.
What was he in? Bright Eyes?
Yeah.
He's all right.
Man, those two. But this record is just so. It's just great songwriting, and she's on there, and she did mention that stuff. But at the end of the day, like sometimes there's certain things that just because we have access to this information, like it's none of my business.
Yeah,
it's between
exactly.
you guys. You guys dated, you guys did whatever. Like I don't like what some guy in Michigan doesn't accept your apology on some relationship you had. Like fuck you.
Right.
I don't give a shit. You know, Dave.
He knows they were talking shit about him.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
I'll fix that motherfucker.
Okay, so favorite movie of 2014?
Birdman.
Okay.
Great sound. That was one you had to see in the theater, man. That like live crazy jazz. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was fucking
No.
killer.
Yeah.
And it's on one.
Yeah, it's all a lot
shot.
of one takes. Yeah,
I mean, that's amazing.
it brought Keaton back. I
pull
mean,
that off.
Keaton was in the other guys. He was killer, but like he
Yeah.
really came back to form in this shit, man.
That was a good movie.
solid.
2014 album, Parker.
I did another all-star band. So you got Max Cavalera, you got the fucking dude from Dillinger, you got the dude from Mastodon, and you got the dude from Converge, and the band's called Kill or Be Killed.
Okay.
That was pretty good. And that was good.
That was best album 2014.
Yeah.
And that was
Four
good.
sickest drummers ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know if they put out a second album, honestly. This was the first, and, you know, Wings of a Feather is a kickoff track, so...
Favorite movie of 2014?
So it was Whiplash, but I actually have my number 2 was just kind of the same thing like what Langan said. It's just if you want to just check your brain at the door, just mindless fucking humor. Neighbors. I fucking love this
that was
movie.
good, yeah.
Seth Rogen and fucking Zac Efron. I fucking laughed my fucking ass off
I like that.
watching this fucking. I mean, the scene when he fucking sits on the couch and the fucking airbag deploys and he goes flying to the fucking ceiling. I was fucking crying my ass off laughing.
For me, 2014 album, one of my favorite bands of all time. Against Me put out a record called Transgender Dysphoria Blues. Great songs. I loved White Crosses, but it didn't hit me till after this record, and I went back and listened to it. But this had just some really good stuff. I feel like by this point, Tom had turned into Laura Jane Grace, and you know, she was pretty upfront with a lot of the feelings that she was going through, and I thought it was a really cool record. Favorite hip hop record would be Run the Jewels 2. Just some great stuff. I mean, the fact that they get Zach De La Rocha on a record. Turns out I didn't
He's
even
coming
know.
back.
Well, I didn't even know, but like when Rage Against the Machine was done, Zach actually went to Brooklyn to go live with LP because he said he wanted to make a record with the guy from Company Flow. And LP said that none of the songs ever came out, you know.
It wasn't like one of them on the Lyricist Lounge Volume 3 or some shit.
That was on the People's Party interview, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
How good was that?
That was a great interview, man.
Talib Kweli is such a great host.
He has some guests I'm not interested in, really.
For sure.
Like, but when he's got a good one, it's a fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's
interview.
great. He's super good at it. So, favorite movie, I have two of them. Interstellar, just because it was one of those like really big budget sci-fi type things that worked for me, I thought. And the other one was Starry Eyes, which was like this really atmospheric slow burn horror movie about being an actress in Hollywood, sucking the devil's dick, and then bad things happening. What a great goddamn movie. This is an actual, when people talk about slow burn, this one actually had a payoff, and it's fantastic. And there's a Motley Crue song called Starry Eyes, so what better than that?
Oh, yeah.
2015 Album of the Year, Langan.
Enslaved in Times. Went back there. Enslaved.
Nice.
One of my favorite bands. Ton of melody in this one. This is actually when I gave you that song to listen to.
Yeah.
Of theirs, this is from that album. It's
Okay.
very melodic.
Oh, okay,
very,
yeah.
Very progressive. As far as hip hop albums, probably Apathy's Weekend at the Cape. There's a great Jedi Mind Tricks record that year, Czarface record that year, Your Old Droog,
Sure.
The Nicest, a lot of good shit. But Apathy, Weekend at the Cape. And
Movie?
for films, my runner-up was Safdie Brothers, Heaven Knows What.
Still haven't seen that one.
It's amazing. The story behind it's amazing. They met a girl. She was like a junkie in the streets and shit like
now,
that.
the Safdie brothers are putting out that Adam Sandler movie. They made Good Time.
Right. They had one album before this. They met this girl.
One movie.
They before this.
You said album.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Sorry. Daddy Longlegs, I think the name of the movie. But anyway, they met this girl. They encourage her to write. She writes her life story. They make a movie. They cast her in it, and got her clean as like an exchange and stuff. Great story, but heavy movie.
Heavy.
Sticks with you.
Yeah.
But The Lobster
Okay.
edged that out
Yeah.
for me.
It's fucking face.
Just a unique fucking.
This guy's racist against lobsters.
All
All right.
I don't
Rock
know.
lobsters.
I've said it. I've talked about this movie on the show before. It's just something else.
2015 Album of the Year, Bryan Maher.
The album's called Young Chasers. The band's called Circa Waves. Really cool, like Britpop band from across the pond. Was lucky I happened to randomly catch them at South by Southwest, and I was like, these guys are fucking great energy. And after that, they made another really good album, and then now their albums aren't as good. But that one was fucking killer.
Okay. Favorite album, favorite movie of 2015.
American Satan. No, I'm fucking kidding. See if anyone's paying attention anymore. That was a bad movie. Well, from the director of Birdman comes The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't
Really?
seen that yet.
Dude, you'll fucking like it.
I will. I
Do you want to see
still
Leonardo
watch
get his ass
anything?
kicked by a bear?
Of course I do.
Yeah, there you go.
It's 3 hours though.
Ma-
Going back to the Irishman argument,
That's
but
not
no.
bad.
But I have that on DVD at home. I just haven't watched it yet.
It's visually stunning. And to go from that movie to fucking that movie, it's like, whoa, this guy can fucking do anything. The only reason fucking he didn't get an Oscar the next year is he didn't make a movie, you know?
Mm.
Guy was... Who wins Best Picture 2 years in a row? I mean, the guy was fucking killer, you know?
yeah. Mm.
Okay, so 2015, continuing. What's your favorite album of 2015?
Favorite album band that I'll always check out. Doesn't matter if it's fucking
Deftones?
No. Well, close. Band that got me into hardcore, VOD, and the album was Race to the Ground. Is it their best work? No. It's serious.
Dude, that album was so heavy, it actually made me tired.
But it was
Yeah.
the best rock album.
It was my best rock album of that year.
That was a great record.
Yeah.
It was one of their best elite, like that had some bangers.
Out of the later ones, yeah. Out of the
It was
later
so
ones,
brutal, though. It
yeah.
was just brutality.
The Craving was my favorite song. It was very Toolish. I know we're on like a kind of like a negative Tool thing going on right now. Movie wise, I actually had a fucking 3-way tie for this. So my number 3 was I had to throw my boy fucking Bateman in there. It's a movie called The Gift. which I cannot fucking love. I cannot fucking talk about this movie enough. It was like a psychological thriller. Pretty much about him and his wife. They move into a new town and they go food shopping one day, and lo and behold, a guy that he used to pick on when he was a little kid lives in the same town, and you could see where this goes. And
Flatliners?
blah, blah, blah. Well, close enough. Number 2 is Bone Tomahawk.
So
good.
Yeah, which
So
just
sick.
just the ending is just so fucking brutal
That
of that
cave,
movie.
oh my
yeah, oh my
God,
god, that's just
Savage.
Kurt Russell, probably top 3 favorite actors of all time for me. I mean, that opening scene just with Sid Haig and David Arquette just sets the fucking tone.
We have the same number 1 for sure.
Are you
I
sure?
love when that guy that guy was like gonna hold them off, and then he just didn't do shit. He got murked right away. That was fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Big Short?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Big Short's my number 1.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling, Christian Bale, Steve Carell.
Love Ryan Gosling.
And the funny thing, I mean, it was definitely had some humor in it, dark humor and stuff like that. But like just the fact that the director did, Step Brothers and Anchorman, you didn't think that it was gonna,
A lot of
Andy's a
sausage,
drummer.
A lot of
Is that
sausage.
right?
Wasn't that the movie where he plays drums in The Office?
Oh yes.
To
That's
Metallica?
Right. That's right.
That's why I thought the tie-in was with you.
Maybe, but maybe. But that was my number 1.
All right.
Movie.
So for me, number 1 album of 2015 is a group that only has one other album in 2002. This is their second one. We waited a very long 13 years. They're called Desparecidos. The record is called Payola. Just great stuff. It's Conor Oberst again, from Bright Eyes, and some other dude, but Conor just does the vocals. The other guy does like all the music. So good. My hip hop record of the year is once again Joey Badass. He put out his first major release called Before the Money. It has the song Paper Trails, which is DJ Premier, Jesus View, Big Dusty at like number 99. Just really, really a solid front to back hip hop record. Great lyrics, great production, and the last greatest thing he did. As far as the movies, I have 4 of them because I could not pick one because they're all so goddamn good. Sicario.
Good one.
Wow, is that good?
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight.
Stop at the first one with that.
Yeah,
Sicario.
I saw the second one. That's fine. The Hateful Eight movie, amazing. The Lobster, and my number 1, 100%, one of the best movies, The Final Girls.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great movie. Mother-daughter relationship. I remember doing a screening for the movie in Patchogue, championing the movie, talking to the director. Great stuff. And that was actually the movie that kind of inspired podcasting and what later turned into this show. All right. 2016.
Moving right along.
Yeah. We have 3. No, 16. Yeah, we have 3 years left. 2016 album of the year. Langan.
I was bouncing around on this one, but probably Gojira's Magma album. Love those guys. I don't know how to describe them. Obviously a metal band, but proggy, tight as hell. Everything they make, I like. But I've tried to like not repeat people if I can avoid it and stuff like that, and put different people in for every year and stuff. And I haven't mentioned them yet, but there was a lot of good stuff that year, but that ekes it out for me. Hip hop, Aesop Rock's Impossible Kid.
Yeah.
He's definitely not for everybody.
For sure.
It's got a very odd flow, but fucking great beats on that album. Great stuff. But in film,
Didn't Trump get him out of jail in Sweden?
that was him.
That's ASAP.
I know.
But
My favorite film, there's 4, but I'm not going to even mention my runners up because I guarantee you one of them is yours.
okay.
So I won't even mention it. But Christine, independent movie about this girl, Christine Lubbock. Everybody's heard of the Bud Dwyer suicide tape,
Sure.
the video. Well, there was this girl on TV down in Florida on a news program, and she did the same thing on air. And this was like the backstory of her like going mad and what led her to that. And it was the first time I seen Rebecca Hall, the actress, got on my radar, and who's very good. And not enough people saw it.
Okay. Very cool. Best album of 2016, Bryan Maher?
David Bowie's Black Star.
Mm.
It was fucking haunting and creepy and sick, and it was actually produced by this guy, Mario McNulty, who I'd been taking meetings with back in 2008 or 9 to produce the second Black Sea Youth record. And then it just didn't work out. But fuck, I wish we would have.
Yeah.
You know, killer dude, super nice guys. I'll talk to him every now and then. But it's been a while actually. But
Best movie?
I really love The Nice Guys with your boyfriend, fucking Ryan Gosling,
Fucking hot, man.
and Russell Crowe.
Technically, Bateman's my
I
boyfriend.
was
That-
just gonna say this
But,
competition.
This guy's so married.
As much as I'm not into
hit on men.
I know. As much as I'm not into self-flagellating Christian type movies, Hacksaw Ridge was fucking sick. That was one of those. It was the most brutal fucking movies, and I think Andrew Garfield doesn't get a fair shake. I think he was really great in that. You know.
Okay.
So I
Very
might have
cool.
to lean towards that one.
26 album of the year for Parker.
What a surprise. Deftones Gore. Came back. A lot of people don't like this album, but I'm like a sucker for this band. You can put out like a pile of dog shit and I'll probably listen to it. The big thing was with
Quiet.
yeah, I know. Chino was touring with Crosses when they started the pre-production on this album.
That's
so,
a great album too.
Yeah, so a lot of people, you know, they said that this kind of sounds like a mix between Morrissey meets Meshuggah because he wasn't really there for a lot of the writing process. So the dude from Quicksand stepped in and he started doing a lot more of the writing. So I don't know if maybe that's why I like it so much. This album, Jerry Cantrell does a guest spot on it. Phantom
guy.
Bride, yeah, fucking love this album. I'm excited for the next thing. I've been seeing like little dribs and drabs of studio clips, so I'm ready for the fucking new Deftones.
Best album, best movie of 2016?
I got two.
Me too.
Number 2 was this movie that I almost had not a completely, spot on same story happen, but a similar story about a band that plays a venue, and then they had no clue that it was, run by the white supremacists.
Oh, that's a good one.
Green Room.
Yeah.
And
one.
I played this club in Florida called Club Q, and we actually found out as we were packing in because we saw a bunch of people who looked very, similar, and then we found out that it was actually a KKK bar.
They were clantastic.
Yeah, so so that's my number 2. My number 1, fucking love this movie. Didn't love the ending, but Chris Pine, phenomenal in this. Hell or High Water.
Okay.
Fucking love this movie.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, about 2 brothers, bank robbery. Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges?
Yes.
Plays the sheriff. Love it.
Okay. So, I'm with you. Black Star, David Bowie. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Knowing that he's dying and he makes this record, and there's about seven or 8 songs, and it's somebody who's never stopped growing as an artist.
It's fucking out there.
It's
it's
so
everything,
Good. It's so fucking good. Like it blew me away how good the fucking album was. My other record is Nothing Tired of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a fucking.
Holy!
I saw
shit.
them that year with AFI.
Those guys do no wrong.
Yeah, I mean on record anyway.
Yeah.
Vinny Paz for Hip Hop Record put out a record called Cornerstone of the Corner Store. Killer. And now
that came out.
Yeah, that's a banger. That might be my favorite right there. 2 movies that I have. One of them is Hell or High Water. Very good.
Yeah.
I love the ending with Jeff Bridges and just like that, them having that dialogue.
Yeah.
But a very good movie. And the other movie was a movie called Moonlight.
Wow, I was wrong.
Moonlight is this like 3-part movie about this kid, I guess, coming to terms that he's gay. He's like black kid in this like really fucked up neighborhood, and it's just really.
I won the Oscar that year.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good.
I didn't
Like it's
it.
really, it's gay cowboys eating pudding, like whatever that thing. But it just and that the guy who was in True Detective was in it too.
Oh,
Marshmallow
Ali.
Right.
Marshmallow.
Ali. Yeah. Just such a great movie. Like just you felt. I don't know. You just watch this dude who's just trying to avoid his feelings of what he is. So the first part is him as a little kid, then him is like, a mid-20s guy, and then third is like him as like an older adult.
He's a fantastic actor. I mean,
Oh,
he was so good. I can't wait to see what he brings to Blade.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
He's going to bring his Blade. 2017 album of the year.
Power Trip, Nightmare Logic.
Oof, good one.
There's so many. I remember when thrash and crossover started making a comeback again and shit like that, and it was like, oh wow, so exciting. And then all of a sudden the market was like flooded with like fucking acts doing that shit, but then these guys just stood out. The riffs are fucking fat as hell. The grooves are,
these guys were the real deal.
they're great.
Yeah,
they stand out in a crowded pack.
Yep.
Hip hop albums, I was going between Heavy Metal Kings, Black God,
White
Devil, and Your Old Droog Pax.
Hmm.
Apathy put out a good one that year, Czarface as well, but probably Your Old Droog.
Okay.
He's great if you like throwback mellower shit and stuff like that. Sounds just like Nas, which a lot of people like.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people seem to have an issue that he
Right,
sounds
but
like Nas so
his
much.
voice sounds like that. He does have a similar flow, but the music's good. So
yeah,
whatever.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yep,
The guy's Samoan.
And for films, I had 3 different ones written down here. There was Get Out, which was a big one. Good Time, Safdie Brothers, and a little movie I just wanted to give a mention, Little Hours, which is actually, I think it's streaming on Netflix still, but it's a really unorthodox comedy with about Christianity and other shit. John C. Reilly, Fred Armisen's in it, and a trifecta of nerd girl crushes, Kate Minucci, Aubrey Plaza, and Allison Brie.
Nice.
And they get like naked, so I gotta shout that out. You know what I'm saying?
Love me some Brie.
Dude.
That's it. Guy's hetero as fuck.
Aubrey
What do you want?
Plaza's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my
It's
favorite
worth it
cheese
just for
Brie.
that, but it's funny.
Dude, in
Weird.
Legion, she is so awesome. Oh my God.
Best album of 2017, Bryan Maher.
Jason Isbell in the 400 unit with the Nashville sound.
Great record.
Vampires is the most beautiful song ever written, man. It's incredible. I sit there and I play it at home, like on guitar, and it's difficult to play. It's a lot of work but it's rewarding.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful. It encapsulates my fucking fear of like my wife dying before me. You know?
for sure. I mean,
I don't want to get back on Tinder.
Hopefully your wife lives to 100 and gives that eulogy where she brings his podcast up. But that record and that song, man, he's such a goddamn great
Anxiety, Crumbling
songwriter.
Gap. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all crushers. I mean,
Yeah.
White Man's Town. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what he does.
He just put out a live song called Stockholm like yesterday or something.
Well, Stockholm was on Southeastern,
Yeah, right, okay.
which is his best album ever. 2022, it was on my list, but so we have that best movie besides Get Out.
Fuck. 2017 we're at?
Yep.
Star Wars The Last Jedi, man.
There you go.
I loved
I
it.
know. You could say what people obviously, all the fanboys fucking lost their minds because a lot of people don't understand like the characters. Like, how could Luke do this? Like, whatever. But it got people fucking talking for better or worse, you know, and I think it did inform and influence the future to go, not in the ways that it was intended to. So I think it's going to be an important movie to look back on because I think it's going to end up being seen as the best of this era. And I think, it's going to be seen as a turning point where people stop listening to artists and start listening to trolls online, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's going to, as far as the direction of where things are going, I think there's a real focus group future now because this dared to be different and inventive and interesting. And Rian Johnson's still out there making fucking killer movies. And
I didn't
J.J.
see
was a
Knives Out
poser.
yet.
I didn't either, but everybody says it's great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try it. My dad saw it and said it was fucking awesome. And he
Okay.
hates everything. So he only likes James Bond and fucking Crank. Those are his 2 favorite movies.
Yo, Crank's pretty good though. Okay, cool. 2017 album for you, Parker.
Fucking Body Count Bloodlust, man. Grammy.
Is that the one with Talk Shit Get Shot?
No, that's the one after.
That's the one. Yeah.
Bloodlust is pretty good.
Yeah. Grammy nominated. Max Cavalera's on it. Dave Mustaine's on it.
4 greatest drummers.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. They do a Raining Blood cover from Slayer, which is pretty great. Live, unfortunately, I've never seen them live. Probably never will for the next 5 years, but hopefully they're still around by then.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ice-T is so prolific lately. Like,
His last hip hop album wasn't bad.
well, listen, he put out a record today. I started listening to
yeah.
it. A hip hop record. Fucking great. Still has it, but he released Feds in My Rear View, which was only a single, and that was one of my favorite singles of the year, which is not on the record. I don't know why, but
Yeah, he still sounds good.
He sounds
Some
great.
of the lyrics are a little ridiculous because you know where he's at and what he's talking about. Like, you ain't living like that.
and
no
you know
more,
what's
bro.
funny? I don't care because
Yeah,
he-
I know.
You know why? If you ever listen to him interviewed, he is from that world. He's from that life.
Totally.
He lived it. He is a real he gets, he was fucking from that world.
Yeah.
He's an older guy now. So,
And good for you,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just,
yeah.
you're not pimping anymore,
No, but I love it. You know what? I'm
But
I'm
some
ignorant.
Good beats on
I'm
that
ignorant.
shit. Good beats.
I'm ignorant. I love it.
Shout out to Coco.
Like Parker likes
And
beatdown.
Marisha
Parker loves
Hargitay.
beatdown hardcore. I like ignorant hip
That's
hop.
it, man.
Number one movie of
Ignorance is
2017.
best.
My number 2 was Good Time, but then my number 1 was actually Mother.
Mother.
Yeah.
Mother's great.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
How the
Yeah.
fuck?
That movie's fucking
Yo,
horrible.
I'm changing my shit.
Okay.
Mother's my number one. I
Say.
didn't even. How did I miss that?
Mother's
I
my
changed my list so many goddamn times.
Mother's on my list. Okay, so
You guys love that Jesus shit, man?
yeah. Okay.
I didn't really. The allegory didn't matter to me.
No.
It didn't matter to me. So number one album for me is a record that I got into a lot this year and last year. Idols, Brutalism. Also, Beck put out Colors, which was one of his best records. Just those two records were fucking so good. Hip hop record, Heavy Metal Kings number 2 with our buddy Lord Gore, fucking featured a lot in there. But also, Mayhem Loren put out
Lord Goat.
Mayhem Loren put out Piatto de Oro. That was absolutely my favorite hip hop record of that year. Just beats, rhymes, just killer. As far as movies for 2017, I really loved obviously Get Out, but everyone's going to say that, so I'm not going to say that. So I'm going to add Killing of a Sacred Deer. I thought Killing of a Sacred Deer and Mother were two of the most unique, awesome movies. I watched Mother, and Mother gave me anxiety.
Yep.
Like, it gave me anxiety.
Did you ever have a party at your house? That's what it's like. So you can't have fun. Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
No, then I haven't. I never have.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
it made you feel something, man.
Yeah.
It made me feel something, just like The Killing of a Sacred Deer did.
That is by the director of The Lobster as well,
Yes.
right? Yeah. That fucking kid is like
That
the
kid-
all-time creep.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yep.
wanted to kill that kid.
Oh my god.
I wanted to kill him,
Yeah.
and what The Killing of a Sacred Deer means, like in like those like Greek terms or whatever. Like I
Yeah.
read up on it,
Mhm.
and it was like the sacrifice thing, and it's like eye for an eye, and that's what it was. And when you really break down like that movie, it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy, and how it ends, fucking really good.
He was the kid in we need to
Dunkirk.
talk about Kevin too, right?
He was in Dunkirk.
Right.
I
but
didn't know about.
I think he was in that.
Yeah.
And if he was, that's another creepy kid movie. But anyway, yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
That was great.
And yeah, so Mother and Killing of a Sacred Deer for me, and now we made it to the last year. We covered all 10 fucking years.
Let's not suck each other's dicks yet, man. We got one more to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
2018, which if you remember was just last year. Okay. So number one album of last year, 2018.
My rock album is Nothing's Dance on the Blacktop. Fantastic. Hip hop. Apathy's Widow's Son.
Best.
And film, is a tie for me between Death of Stalin, which not enough people saw that
I
shit.
want to
either.
see that. I heard it was
So
hysterical.
good. If you like the show Veep, it's the dialogue just snaps, man. It's fantastic. It's hilarious. But anyway, and my number one though is First Reformed.
Oh yeah, with Ethan Hawke. Yeah, that's A24.
That's another movie that's very heavy.
Yeah.
And stays with you. A lot to think about. And I don't think enough people saw that either. But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, but the people that did loved it. That was
it's so
a
good,
praise
and
movie.
he's fantastic in it.
Number one album of 2018, Brian.
Bring it up again. Wells, fucking white trees and red trees and white trashes. I know I'm blowing these guys so hard my shit is white, but they're fucking awesome. Like literally, if like Jeremy Enigk and John Lennon had a fucking baby that could fucking like shred and crush it and write awesome songs, man. I can't say enough about this fucking record, man. It's fucking killer.
All right, and number one movie?
Black Klansman.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And Denzel's son. I love
Yeah.
to see the next generation get in there.
Him and fucking Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who was also in a good movie this year and a bad one because fucking that Dead Don't Die was not good.
I didn't see Marriage Story, if that's what you're going to talk about.
No, I said The Dead Don't Die,
Okay.
which is basically a Sturgill Simpson commercial with zombies.
Okay. So brings us to Parker, 2018. What Deftones record came out?
I was about to say I had to pick fucking somebody else, man, because I didn't fucking release anything. So I had to go with another one of my favorite bands.
Floor
fucking-
Punch?
No, Alice in Chains, Rainier Fog. So this was their 6th album, the 3rd with the singer William Duvall, and this was actually the first. I was reading up on this. This was the first album that I actually went back to Seattle to record. First time in 22 years that they recorded in Seattle doing this album.
Did they record it on Mount Rainier in the fog?
No, well, I don't know if it got that extreme, but
Favorite movie of 2018?
Number 2 was actually Bohemian Rhapsody. But my number 1 movie I got from the library. Shout out to the library. And I watched.
Get your card.
Yeah. And I watched
For
this
real.
again. And I watched this again recently. And I was just like, holy fucking God, is this movie good? And it is called Upgrade.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie is bananas.
Yeah.
We mentioned it a lot. Definitely made my top 5 last year. But I've never seen, or it's been a minute since I've seen a movie use a tiny budget to make it look
Yep.
so big.
Yeah.
How did they use that budget?
It all went to that car.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I have Alkaline Trio, Is This Thing Cursed, number 1 album, as well as Idol's Joy as an Act of Resistance. Both of those records are unbelievable. Hip hop records for me. Last year I had Evidence with Whether or Not, and Mayhem Loren and DJ Muggs with Frozen Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the Alkaline record, though, it's good songs, but you don't find like that mix to be like jarringly weird.
Nah.
It's so like thin and tinny. I don't know. Like, you can't crank it.
I don't know. I don't have a good ear like that. Like I put on.
You don't notice that it feels like needles going through your cochlea?
No, no, not at all. For 2018 best movie, I have 2 of them. One, which I discussed last year, called When We First Met, which is Adam Devine and Alexandra Daddario.
I love her.
But they made this movie, and it's just one of the smartest romantic comedies I've ever seen. You never saw it, I guess.
No, I only seen her in True Detective, but I'll go watch this.
So yeah, it's
And on Instagram every day.
You never saw this either?
No.
You never saw this?
Yeah.
That's so good.
What was it called?
When We First Met. So this guy meets this girl and they go on a date and it doesn't turn out well. And he's kind of bummed about it. So somehow along the way, he finds a time machine and he wakes up and does it again. So he's like, okay, maybe she likes this. So he keeps trying different ways, but he keeps waking up and like he's confused as to where he is. And every time he goes through the time machine, something different happens in time that he does. So he's like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to date her friend. Maybe I'm like, it's so fucking good that by the time you get to the end, you're like, this is one of the smartest movies that on the surface looks like a dumb romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It sounds like Russian Doll, but without the death.
I guess so.
That was a great show if you never watched it.
No, I haven't. But I know exactly what it is. But another movie that I watch on Hulu, which really is my number 1 movie, I don't know, it's a cross between those two. Hearts Beat Loud. So that's Nick Offerman from, I guess, that show Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he has a daughter, and they live in Brooklyn, and he's trying to like have this relationship with her, and they're both musicians, and so one day he decides to write a song with her, and the soundtrack to this movie is amazing. So this song ends up on a Spotify playlist, and they start getting popular, and he's like, oh my God, he's like, he's trying to connect with her because she's moving to college, and he's still trying to hold on to this thing. He's got a bar in Red Hook. It's just basically a movie about him trying to keep this relationship with his daughter, through playing music before she moves away, and then he's hard at luck and all this, hard at love and all this other stuff. But it's such a good movie, and it's on Hulu, and everyone should watch it. So good. Okay, that's it. So we made it through the decade. This is going to be one hell of a playlist. Hopefully the people that listen to this stuff listen through the years and they pick out the stuff that they maybe meant to watch, didn't get a chance to, and that's why we do these year-end things. So, so we're going to close it out with, I asked everyone to kind of pick the 5 TV shows, whether it be Netflix or TV, like whatever it is, the 5 best shows that you remember of the last 10 years. So let's do number 5 with you.
Number 5 for me is Ash vs. Evil Dead. Great movie. It was more than I expected, and did disappoint. After all those years, I didn't know what I was going to get, and man,
Yeah,
they're right in the wheelhouse. They knocked it out of the park.
I agree.
You got his head in a guy's asshole.
Yeah, in his asshole with a dick on his it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Quick shit. Well, didn't make my top 5, but I want to give a shout out to the Wu-Tang fucking.
The docu-series?
Not the docu one.
Oh, the Hulu one.
The Hulu one.
So good.
Was fucking killer.
Hell yeah.
And
Sold.
on YouTube, Hot Ones. Fucking best
Yeah.
show of the
Oh, there
decade.
you go.
That's
Interviewing
nice. Shit.
people while they eat fucking hot wings. It's fucking killer. But my number 5 is the Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
Fucking
cool.
sickest gangster show ever.
All right. Number 5, Parker?
Parks and Recs, actually. Funny enough, you just mentioned Nick Offerman. Big fan of The Office. This is very similarly shot like The Office is. Takes place in a government building. Quote, not to say too much. I have a government job, so I know what some of the stupidity is dealing with, coworkers and homeowners and stuff like that.
Joe Hess.
Joe, that's a whole nother story. But it gets really good when Rob Lowe and Adam Scott come onto the show. That's around season, I believe, 5. And then you got my girl Rashida Jones, who's just
Smoking.
hot as hell.
Yeah.
So, and Aubrey Rapaza too.
A newer show that I'm going to give an honorable mention to because it didn't make my top 5, but The Boys. I don't like superhero stuff. It doesn't hold my interest. This show, wow. Crazy.
Yep.
Just like unbelievably good. The guy from, Martin, sorry, I don't know, whatever his name is from the show Banshee was crazy. But anyway, my number 5 is also Ash vs. the Evil Dead. If you love the movies, this show excelled. All the seasons, every episode, the casting, the violence, the gore, the fact that they went back to the house and somehow intertwined with the movie. They jumped into that timeline. Unfucking real. The show ended, I think, after 3 seasons or 4 seasons. It doesn't matter. You can watch those. You can watch those on a loop, and they're still entertaining every single time. So, number 4, Langan?
This is actually 4.5 because I just realized I totally forgot it. It's right in the middle there. Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, wow.
Which started off at first
Was
time
that really within the last 10?
2010 it debuted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And went 5 seasons, I think. But it started off a little slow. I wasn't really into it. I stayed with it, and just great performances, great look to it. Buscemi, amazing. I can't say enough about it. But I will go. My number 4 would be Fargo. Another one. I didn't know what they were going to do with this. The movie came out 1 billion years ago. I don't even know how long ago. What were they going to do? But these little sub-stories in this weird kind of town, you know what I mean? Just so well written, well performed. And Billy Bob Thornton as the villain in the first season is epic, legendarily bad.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Number 4, Bryan Maher?
3-way tie between Watchmen, The Boys, and Silicon Valley.
Nice.
All gems.
Silicon
I don't know.
Valley is
I haven't
great.
seen any of them. Except The
You,
Boys.
you don't watch Silicon Valley?
No,
That'd
my
be up
girlfriend
fucking
does.
alley, dude.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
No.
my girlfriend does. Sometimes she watches stuff without me, and like when you live with someone and they start it without you, it's like, well, I'm not gonna watch episode 4 now. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm missing out on all the British murder mysteries my wife watches.
Hello.
She's watched so
Hello,
many of them that
Governor.
she's moved on to Murder, She Wrote at this point.
Nice.
Number 4, Parker.
So this actually started 2008, but it goes into 2014. Sons of Anarchy, which I absolutely loved. I actually didn't
No,
start.
you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Terrible.
Did you watch The Mayans?
No,
It's
I
better.
didn't. Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know.
It doesn't jump the shark as much as Sons of Anarchy.
I'll try it.
What about Jack Teller's
What are you,
ass?
racist?
Oh man,
Yeah, you can't watch a Hispanic motorcycle game.
nah, I'm racist. Come on. Peg Bundy still looking hot. Danny Trejo.
She's in The Mayans.
Is she? All right, maybe I won't try.
Dude, they
it.
shoehorn everything. They
Yeah.
shoehorn everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Sons of Anarchy for me. For you, I'm gonna go with Escape at Dannemora, which was recently.
Still haven't watched it.
Oh, that was good.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know both you guys loved
Yeah.
it.
Is that
Yeah.
chick's up for parole, right?
I don't think so.
The real one.
Yeah. So this is one of 2 times that Patricia Arquette makes it to my top 5 TV shows.
Nice.
This was on Showtime, and it was just about the prison break, and there was like 8 episodes, and the way Ben Stiller directed it, very good. Just a great story. Paul Dano, was he in Whiplash? I feel like he was.
No.
Oh no, that was Miles. But he was in
There
Let There
Will
Be
Be Blood.
Yeah, There Will Be
Little
Blood.
Miss Sunshine,
Yeah.
a bunch of shit.
Yeah. So, and Benicio del Toro,
Mm-hmm.
also in there. Just great. I mean, prison, escaping, prison guard, super entertaining. Just one, it's one of those things that now what you can do with TV episodic type things is you could tell a long form story like that. It's an 8-hour movie, basically.
You got time to
You
really
have time to really
spread it out.
develop and do this stuff. So, number 3.
This is probably your number 1, Sam, but Game of Thrones. It would have been that easily could have been the running for number 1 for me, but until it just it fell off like a bit at the end, and
Abysmally.
I mean, I was so into that show at the beginning, and it just let me down, so that's why it slides down a little bit. But that's my shit. I like fucking Lord of the Rings. I like fucking, swords,
Pig's feet.
man of war,
There you go.
loincloths,
Wow.
magic, whatever. It's a great show. I don't know.
People that say "milady."
A few
Yeah.
people like it, seemed pretty popular. But anyway.
Number
that's my
3, Bryan Maher.
Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why that didn't make it on my.
Hmm.
Oh,
God.
all right, never mind.
And I still there's actually, I didn't see a few of the episodes too, but the ones I've seen, they're all fucking incredible.
San Junipero is one of the greatest things ever. I mean, you saw that one, right?
Which one was it?
That's the only one that I have seen.
It's
What's
the
that
one?
one?
With the 2 girls.
I don't know. I came into it a little bit later, so I have to catch up on the first 2
We
seasons.
got to
but
talk.
yeah.
San
No.
Junipero is one of the greatest things ever made. Like that's
Really?
It won an Emmy.
Okay.
Oh.
Number 3, Parker.
So 2 seasons are done on this. I'm still waiting for the 3rd, but Cobra Kai. I always talk about this fucking show on the podcast. That was the only reason why I originally got YouTube Red, but now this is all going to episodes of YouTube.
That show is better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what are they going to do or whatever? But I was like, this is great.
And it's great because
Yeah.
every episode I start thinking about, you can't even just base it to the one movie, the first movie, because they're taking stuff from like all of them, like
Yeah.
going on to like I'm waiting for like Hilary Swank to fucking come in pretty soon.
Oh
Yeah.
my
You know,
god!
because I wouldn't fucking put it past them. But every idea that I get in my mind, I'm just like, man, it'd be fucking great if they do this, and
It
then
makes
they
me want-
and then they do it.
Does Chosen come back?
I want
I'm
them.
not
I want
gonna-
them to take
Yeah.
like every classic '80s movie and have what were they now? What
Yeah.
became of them? Like
No.
do a Breakfast Club one. Let's see what.
It sucks the body bag
Bender's
guy's dead,
probably
though.
dead, but
No.
Did anyone break a bonsai tree?
No, that not yet.
If you want to be bad in LA,
No,
Snake's the boy to be
the,
bad with.
the Alley Girl's coming back. It seems like they're leading up to that.
Well,
the end
now
of-
that she's passed on in the boys' show, she can.
Oh, that was her?
Ah.
The one who got her face melted?
Ah.
Oh, nice.
So,
Spoiler alert!
oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Ah.
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah. So
So
now she can come back.
Anyway, my number 3 is a show called Love. It's on Netflix. There's 3 seasons. Gillian Jacobs is in it. Paul Rust, Judd Apatow. Just a show that's super relatable. It's about life and couples and relationships, people in their 30s, and it's number 3 of my favorite shows of the decade. So that should be enough right there. It's on Netflix. Fantastic. Number 2, Langan.
Veep.
Okay.
It's I think it's one of the best written comedies I've ever seen. Well acted, great cast. You've never seen insult comedy to its tee, like the way these people tee off on each other, and it just, I don't know, it fucking pops. Everything they say, it's got a rhythm to it, and none of the I don't know how many seasons I ended up going. I want to say 6, but never a letdown.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be a show that people love.
She got hotter.
Yeah.
Anna
She got
Klumsky.
hotter.
Anna Klumsky.
Veda Sultanfuss.
The B girl.
Shout out to my girl.
Yeah.
No,
I thought she died.
She's dead. Fucking bee sting.
No, Macaulay Culkin died from the beast thing.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Macaulay-
You're the nostalgia lord. You should know that.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
Macaulay, fucking Klumsky, whatever.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin turned into his brother.
Number 2, Bryan Maher.
I want to say honorable mention to this show, Dairy Girls. That would be my 2.5. It's on Netflix. It's about these.
That's my wife's favorite
It's
show.
Yeah.
fucking hysterical. Again, it's like it's different from Veep because they're like teenagers, whatever. But they're just brutal, terrible people. It's like It's Always Sunny in Ireland during the Troubles with the teenage girls in Catholic school and the fucking the nun teachers. It's fucking unbelievably funny. But number 2 is The Mandalorian. It's fucking sick. I don't know if you guys have Disney Plus, but it's better than any Star Wars movie since the prequels. Definitely. It's solid. It's just what you want. It's a fucking space western samurai thing. It's half-hour episodes. Fucking Bill Burr's in it.
I was just gonna say that.
Number 2, Brian Parker.
Number 2. So when this fucking show first came out, I'm just like, how good can this be? There's been better seasons than others. I think it's on the 9th season now. I actually haven't even started this season yet. I've been waiting for. I think it's
Deftones.
No, I'm getting there. Walking Dead.
What?
I haven't watched this season yet. I feel like I'm always sticking up for this fucking show because I'm just like, it's a fucking zombie show.
Hey, man, if you like it, you like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this season is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, when they got into the, what did they call them? Like when they're wearing the
Whispers?
masks. The Whisper, yeah, they're wearing like the flesh masks or whatever the hell he wants
Is
to
Rick
call it.
dead? I hated that guy.
He left, right? Yeah.
The only guy I
waiting
liked
for the
was
movies
Negan.
or whatever.
The only guy who knew how to get things done.
But I feel like the fact that he's gone and the show is still, I mean, I don't know how the ratings are doing. I guess it's doing pretty well if it came back or whatever. The
I
fact
wonder
that the
how
main
long they're
character.
gonna go.
Well, they
Until
announced
people
a second
want-
spinoff
Yeah.
just got announced.
Yeah. So
I got pissed when the first time Glenn didn't die and he should have,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Fucking."
that was a brutal death.
And then I
That
came
was
back
great.
for when he actually died. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, this show is
Yeah.
back!" And then fucking let me down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you let this punk ass dude with he's got a bat with a spectacle. You got a whole town here. This guy's a dick. Take him out.
And
But
he's
anyway.
like
No, but he has
skinny.
a persona. He controls you by fear. You wouldn't fuck with that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You get enough people. He's got a fucking bat. He's
That dude
walking
was in the
around with.
original Watchmen,
Fuck that
fucking
guy.
Negan.
Yeah, as a comedian.
Yeah.
So that's your number 2. My number 2 is The Act on Hulu. So that was that fucking
Yeah.
crazy
Yep.
fucking
HBO
story.
documentary.
Yeah,
I think.
mommy,
Yeah.
dead dearest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Amazing.
the Gypsy Rose story.
What a story.
So wow, what Patricia Arquette, played fucking the mom, and it's just such a fucked up story.
That's
and
on Hulu, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
holy shit, man! Like what a story! Like a real
You can't make that
crazy American tale of just insanity. And they did a scripted version of it. And when you watch the documentary before or after you watch it, it's pretty much on par. And the characters are very close to like the way they look. It's just one of those American tales. It's so fucking bizarre and strange, but it happened. And to get like a scripted thing of everything that went on, home run Hulu. Hulu's killer.
Yeah.
I love Hulu. I watch Hulu probably more than I watch Netflix and Amazon. So, number 1 TV show of the last 10 years.
I think we all have the same one.
This was
I can't
easy.
feel like we're all basic
I
bitches.
wrote my number 1
Yeah, no
and
way
then
we have
just tried to figure out what the other 4 were. It was Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Fucking greatest show I've ever seen.
I didn't know that it started in 2010.
Well, it was on during that decade, right?
Oh, I don't know. But when did it start?
Jesus.
Oh,
did
does
I
that
fuck
matter?
this up?
It doesn't matter. I guess.
Oh, I didn't know it had to start then. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Why?
when I-
Why?
Let's see.
It might have started in like 2009. That's possible.
I'm checking right now. We got a team.
It
checking
doesn't
it.
matter. Just do it, because
Anyway, that's what it fucking
We-
is, man. It's the best fucking show I've ever seen.
okay.
All right, yeah, my bad. It started 2008.
Ha!
Thought it was-
Disqualified. Shit.
Yeah.
So it's Game of Thrones then.
All right, there we go.
I can't believe I fucked that up.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, it's John from Cincinnati.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking. It was so good. Well, you know what it was? It was on so long. It ended that time.
Yeah.
That's where I
What
went
about
with
Dear John? Can with that be number one?
Dear John. The Judd Hirsch vehicle?
Yeah, for sure. You have Breaking Bad too?
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, Breaking Bad's a great show. What are you
It's
going to
never
do?
been a better show.
You're
It's
like
true.
the fucking gatekeeper of this
Yeah,
fucking.
I mean,
the
you know,
rules here.
I
No
gotta-
compilation, and that's an EP. That's not an LP.
I think me and Parker have the same number one.
Is he hot?
Ozark.
Hot or not? It's fucking right.
Oh,
I still haven't
Ozark.
watched that yet.
Oh,
Really?
dude.
Yeah, what is that?
Gotta
Yeah,
get
that's pretty good. I didn't think of
I
that.
Is
fell
it
off on
over?
that.
Because you know my rule. I got to wait
That
till
first
it's
episode
over.
was incredible, and then it was kind of like, all right.
Oh
I
no,
love
dude!
it.
It's so
There's only
edge of your fucking.
only 2 seasons? Right?
Yeah, edge of your fucking seat. Just
Is it done?
No, it's gonna come back again.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, right now, so he's coming back on with like a mini series in January about a Stephen King short story. He's gonna be doing.
HBO.
Bateman.
I know you're
Yeah.
number one then.
What is it?
Stranger Things.
The Goldbergs.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Goldberg's special
You
on
rep
TV.
you rep the Goldbergs hard.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything, once again, I thanks to Hulu, I got to catch up on it. So here's a show that takes everything that we loved and grew up on and makes 22-minute shows. Like everything. They take Die Hard, they put it in a movie.
Yep.
They take anything that happened in the 80s, music, pop culture, they threw it in there. They had Evan Dando from the Lemonheads in there. There's an episode where they're on the same plane that Adam Sandler's on in The Wedding Singer.
With
Only-
Billy Idol?
Yeah, only from like a different angle. And they're waiting to take off and they're wondering what's going on.
I watched the Cheers clip. That was funny.
They had Carla, Norm, and fucking Cliff on there. Like, it's everything, and it's funny. Like, Beverly Goldberg is the best sitcom mom of all time. That lady who plays Beverly is unfucking real. She is the best. That's my favorite TV show of the last
I think
10
she's
years.
hot too.
She's only hot as Beverly.
I thought she was pretty hot in Reno 911.
The daughter's cute.
Daughter's very
The
cute.
daughter got way cute. Like
Yeah.
as the seasons went on, I'm like, yo, she
Right.
is kind of like pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the ugly dude from Fanboys.
Oh, dude, Fanboy's a great
Dan
fucking
something.
movie.
I didn't know that Adam made that movie.
Yeah.
So the
yeah.
guy who made the Goldbergs made Fanboys,
Yeah.
which is
Fanboys that's a fucking great movie. That's
Yeah.
like a star-studded cast. That fucking movie.
All right, well, we covered everything that
We said it all.
Yeah, we labored over these lists. No one's going to listen to this show, I'm sure.
Especially in hour 5 right now.
I mean,
This is like a Joe Rogan episode.
yeah. Minus,
You guys ever see that clip of that bear fighting that monkey?
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Dude, I posted on
Pull that
Reddit a
up.
clip of Joe Rogan talking to himself. That's the craziest thing in the fucking world.
but yeah, that's because he sits there and we said it before. His show is basically
Do you guys want to take DMT with me?
yeah, but his show is basically Slater from Dazed and Confused when they're all sitting there talking. He's like, "That's what that show's about, man." Yeah, that's what that song's about, man.
The bottom line with these shows, though, is just if one person really like picks up on a movie
Yeah.
and saw it based on a recommendation and enjoyed it, it's
If it-
fucking worth it.
If this episode could affect one life,
For 10 cents a day, you can feed it.
Ah.
And it doesn't have to be positive, or it could be negative. If
Yeah.
this ruined your life, that's just as good. you know?
if you end up watching one of these shitty movies that Mar picked, while watching.
If Davy Bright listens to some enslaved albums,
Yeah.
I
man.
feel like I did something for the world.
Davy Bright and Alex and there's cousin Mike.
Yeah.
Cousin
If we get Ryan Adams uncanceled,
yeah, Yeah, if we get people talking about Ryan Adams, on a more like rational, matter, then we could just,
We're just trying to move the needle, Sam.
Yeah, that's it.
Inspire one kid to get his library
And look,
card.
how about we'll get him back and we'll cancel Aziz again.
Oh, poor Aziz. I don't know.
Scott Jazanbeck knows what I do for the library on the show.
Sick.
I rep it hard.
Cool. Anything else? Anything you want to say, guest?
I'm good, man. I think we've said
Flying
everything that needs
anywhere
to be
this year?
said. I'm actually having a pretty travel-free. I'm going to Atlanta to do a record, so that's the next thing. I'm flying to Florida next week. All right, so I have to do
That sounds exotic enough.
Yeah.
For what?
Look, my parents live there.
Oh.
I got to go check in, say what's up, make sure they're all doing good. And check out the alligator across their pond.
Nice.
They have one. They won't remove it until it's over 6 feet. It has, in the development they live in, like 4 feet's not fucking good enough.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie Crawl?
No.
I got to see that.
I did. I saw it in the theaters. It was all right.
Whatever.
It was probably
There's an alligator in it, and it's in Florida.
But, yeah, but that's so what it is like the storm, and they get stuck in this house. This girl's looking for her dad, and this like tornado. No, this like hurricane's coming, and she just happens to have all these alligators pouring into the house.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
They could have had a better title than that, though, right?
It's not as good as the OG alligator movie from late 70s.
But I like everything Alexander.
Like Gator Rain would be sick. Or...
I like Gator Rain. I like everything that the director does. Alexandra
Ocasio-Cortez.
Ajo.
I voted for her.
I don't know if his titties are as nice as hers. So, all right, cool. So, like us and do stuff and listen to Dark Satellite Media.
Shout out to Ryan Gosling.
Shout out to Ryan Gosling, Dan Turr, Stomp442. Anything else? We'll see you in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get Joe Hess on. 10-hour episode, man.
He's rambling.
You know what? He would do a 10-hour episode.
He would.
Except it's going to be a long repeat.
Yeah. We could just stare at him and he'll just keep talking. Like we don't even say
guys,
I'm rambling. All right, later.
Dark Satellite Media.